Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome. I hope you're having a nice evening wherever you are currently in the world. Over here, I just polished off some dinner. Sorry for being a bit late. I misjudged the timer on the rice cooker. But yeah, I'm feeling quite good. It's been a busy day, though. I've got the lights... Hang on a minute. So I've got the lights down in here a little bit because, I've just been straining at the screen all day doing the editing on Team Fortress 2 Bullshittery Part 1. So it's day 2 on that effort, and so far, so good. I've got lots of clips available, so I'm sort of like arranging them on the timeline and moving things here and then moving things there, just trying to plan in my brain where things are going to go. One of the challenges I feel that I have putting these bullshitteries together is the fact that I personally feel it's quite important when doing any sort of compilation to make sure that you balance things out a bit, that you speed up in places and slow down in others. I don't know if other people share that opinion, but if you do too many quick things, then you can often cause the audience's head to spin, even if those quick things are funny. And if you do too many slow things, then the punchline can often be so far and few between, or the punchlines even, that you lose the audience's attention. So it's all about trying to find that balance. I've got to sort of, slow and then fast, and then slow and then fast. Hence trying to sort of put all the clips together and find the right pattern. Same with, if it's like a loud scene going to a quiet scene, that's also a no-no, for example. You've got to try and, up and down, up and down. So, so far so good, really. I've got a whole bunch of stuff that's in my head, and I'm just trying to translate it onto the timeline as best I can. I've got a definite, this is where I want to start, this is where I want to end, and beyond that, I'm just putting the clips down. Give me until the end of the week, and then I should have the, the structure of it figured out. And then I'll start the text and visual effects and all that fun stuff. And also, sorry, I'm going to burp. No, I'm not. And also Source Filmmaker. I want to use some bits and pieces with Source Filmmaker. Thank you, Big Ant and Not Breadbury, and Unreal Guardian, Letho, Amistad, Rose, and Gus, and Mechanic if you're still there. Thank you sincerely, folks. Thank you. What kind/brand of whiskey do I drink mostly? Honestly, Gecko, I've got a collection. Hang on, I'd show you them beneath the camera. Just they're there through sheer convenience. They're not within arm's reach for any reason whatsoever. No, I've got a series of different liquors down there as gifts bought over the by other people, and also just to quantify how. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 bottles of whiskey that I can see over here, and I've gone through one since last Christmas. I don't drink that often, maybe a little bit occasionally. A little tipple here or there, but yeah. So I've got a lot of whiskey. But I guess it's because I'm an easy person to buy gifts for in that regard. It's what does he like? Honeyed whiskey. It's something with honey in it. Anyway, right. Let me just put some music on and drop into some Kerbal. So welcome, everyone. I hope you're having a nice evening. Thank you for joining me. Whoopsie. I'll just turn that down so it's a bit too loud. So, anyway, Kerbal Space Program, again, speaking at the back to those who aren't really familiar with it, it's a NASA sim where you play as a group of, as the operations manager, I suppose, of a space program of the Kerbals, these green minion-esque type people, and they come from Kerbin over here, which is basically Earth, and they have to explore and send up probes and do science experiments and all that stuff. So, having completed a couple of lunar operations this morning, I think it's wise to maybe turn our attention over to Duna, Mars, the red planet. Also, just going to tweak the audio. It's a bit too loud. 1 second. Turn that down there. Right. So let me know if the music is too quiet or too loud, because I can adapt. Right, so, welcome indeed, Q Tom, welcome. Do I have any good whiskey, though? Yeah, I've got tasty whiskey. It's got honey in it. It's very tasty to me. Okay, so, what's going on right now? Let's just go to the tracking station. So we managed to get quite a bit of cash now, which is quite nice. But we do certainly need to work on these specific missions. So that's Kerbin. There's the moon. There's Minmus, which is a second, smaller moon, more like a captured asteroid, really. And then up here, we have the solar system. Now, I've set a few alarm clocks. 1 second. Transfer Dres. So, 1 year and 76 days. So this is a custom one that I've made. It's a bit of a test. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to wait before I set... So wait 1 year and 73 days in order to send something over to Duna, which is there. So there's Kerbin, there's Duna, Mars. Now, in order to transfer something over to Duna, we've got to basically increase our speed. So build a rocket and increase its speed, and then it will meet Duna over there. But in order to meet it, Duna's got to be in front of us, so we've got a bit of a wait. We're going to be orbiting Kerbal, the central star, for some time, so 1 year and 73 days. But I have indeed set the timer intentionally about 30 days early, because I'm wondering if I'm making a major error with my transfers, and I just want to see if I figured out what it is. Thank you, Elias and Ghost of Death, and Oh Well, Never Mind, and 72 Evolution. Thank you for the 12 months, 72, and thank you for the Tier 2, Ghost of Death. You're all very kind to me. Thank you very much. Thank you for your generosity, everyone. So, now then. There's that mission, but hot on its heels is the transfer Dres. Oh no, that's just the transfer of the SAT. So the SAT is already in orbit. Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Yugrill. Thank you very much, Yugrill. And hi there, Zam. I hope you're okay. I saw a message saying that you were stuck on the floor, either lacking snacks, or your foot was asleep, or you're drunk, or all three. I hope you're okay. Right, 1 second. So, what am I doing then? We need to send something over to Duna. So let's just go over to Duna. So I definitely need to send a replacement set of jet engines for Jebediah and Stadius, our pilot and engineer, who are currently in low Duna orbit with the ISS, the Ike space station. There it is right there. So that's one thing we can definitely do. But is there anything else that would be nice to send to Duna while we do it? Honestly, fuel might be prudent. What about the ability to manufacture their own fuel, rather than continually send it? What about designing not just the engines to go to them? That seems like a simple task. In fact, we could just have 2 vessels, one small one for the engines only, and then a bigger one for a mining operation here at Ike. That could be done, although we don't currently have a vessel giving us scanning capabilities of Ike, but we can just put that on the miner, couldn't we? Yeah, let's do that. Let's put together a craft. Let's design a craft that is going to land and start mining fuel from the tiny low-gravity moon of Ike, so Duna's moon, and then we can transfer fuel to and from the crew as and when they need it. The ground crew can already do that, but having some fuel in orbit would be very, very helpful, wouldn't it? Sam says, inebriated and painting a robot. Foot is asleep. Send snacks. Yeah, well, I hope you're very well indeed. Thank you, Aneurysm. Thank you very much, Aneurysm. Good luck with your painting, Sam. Why is the audio tinny/bad? Is it really? Is anyone else having problems with the audio? I can try and have a look at it. Audio on the stream or audio on my voice? Try refreshing it. Some people sometimes say that they have it initially, especially when I start the stream. Okay. Give it a refresh. Hopefully it'll work. Hi there, STRC. Hi there indeed. Right. So, let's go then. Let's send a mining mission off to Ike then, along with the engine. So we'll send 2 separate missions. We won't put them together just for the sake of simplicity. So let's do the engines first, shall we? A simple job. So leave the tracking station, go back to the VAB. Thank you, Hollows. Thank you for saying so, and welcome indeed. For those who are just passing through the stream, please know that I'm on day 2 for Team Fortress 2 Bullshittery Part 1. I'm cutting it together. I'm going to need a few weeks, mind you, so yeah, please just be patient. Sorry that things take so long with this sort of thing. Right, so let's start with the lowest mass probe that we can get. this dinky thing here. Okay, so we're just sending engines. So how big are those engines? So frustratingly, both attempts to send the engines previously failed. It's these ones, isn't it? Is this the best? So that's the larger version, but that's too large. Okay, so ignore that. So we want these, yeah. So the CR7 Rapier engine. Okay, so it requires liquid intake, so it can intake air, but there is no air to utilize on Duna, for the atmosphere is less than 1% the atmosphere of here on Kerbin. It's all been blown away, and is quite subject to seasonal change, apparently. So it's denser in the summer months, but it cools off and freezes on the polar ice caps in the winter. But I don't know if that's represented in the game at all. Okay, so looking at the Rapier, hang on a second. So in atmosphere, engine ISP, in atmosphere 3,200, in vacuum 3,200. Ah, okay. Engine, what's this? What's the difference between these sets of stats then? Oh, is this when it's just being used as a... this is when it's being used as a rocket thing, as opposed to... okay, so in atmosphere 275, 305 in a vacuum. Okay, so what is the equivalent? So I've got some terriers, don't I? 1 second. So the terriers... only 85 in atmosphere. Okay, so these are way, way better. So it's 85 versus... 85 versus 275 in atmosphere. Oh yeah, we want these. Definitely. Okay. When I say air, isn't Mars's atmosphere pure carbon dioxide? My understanding is that it's mostly carbon dioxide. I think, yes? It's not entirely pure carbon dioxide, but it's mostly. Thank you, Bursting Gollum. Thank you very much, Bursting. Yeah, it's got other things in there. Tantalizingly, if I recall correctly, we found evidence of methane in the atmosphere, which is very tantalizing because that could indeed, it could indeed be a byproduct of organic processes. So, well, there are other explanations as well, but yeah, there's methane on Mars discovered by the Curiosity probe, which is indeed alien farts. Thank you, Angel of Darkness. Thank you very much, Angel. Okay, 1 second. So how am I... Yes, so let's not make the fuck up that I made last time. I put these mounted... Basically, I mounted them in the central stack, and it would not let me remove them even in 0G, which is very frustrating. So we are going to, as weird and extreme as it seems, we're going to have them on an upside down bicoupler mount, like so. As strange as this may seem, and we may as well... Yeah, it's fine. We'll put it under a fairing. It'll be fine. If we're gonna go straight to that size, then we may as well get the bigger probe. Get the bigger probe head as the root node. Is it this one? This one's got a reaction wheel built in, so that's nice. Yeah, it's that one there. Okay, so, and then put the other engine up here. There we go. That's upside down. I think that does matter. Okay, so this is the payload delivery. So let's not go crazy in over-designing the rocket, because I've got that mining thing that I want to send. I imagine much of this stream is probably going to be this screen as we design the ship. But if you're not familiar with Kerbal Space Program, yes, the whole idea is that you're given these parts on the left here, and you've got to assemble rockets that are going to go places. The bottom right of the screen, you'll see those numbers. Well, you'll see numbers soon, which will basically represent how much oomph each individual segment has as it travels through space. So we need to make sure that we have enough oomph to get over there. So then, let's switch the calculations over to Duna. You know what? I've completely forgotten. Sorry, let me just get my Evernote again. There's a sleeping dog. She's happy. Where's my Evernote? There it is. Where are my Duna notes? Kerbal notes, here we are. So Duna. So I found that it takes around 5,000 delta V to orbit low on Duna without aero braking. Okay. So a 5,000 delta V rocket should be fine. Yeah, we're not going to have any trouble with this. Alright, so let's give it, so here's our probe. Let's give it a big chunky bit of fuel. We could use a nerve engine, but you just use a big fat engine. It's fine. Okay. So what's that there? Could do that, or could use that. There we go. So stick it with a. It's not very efficient in a vacuum, is it? So in vacuum, 315 vac. Okay. So vacuum, so that's 1,000 just in that tube alone. I suppose I could give it a nerve, couldn't I? That would give it 1,300. It's not that much of a difference, actually. Wait, take out the oxidizer. Okay, 1,600. Alright, it is. Oh shit, I don't want to do shit with nerves, though. It's a pain in the arse. Give it a little. Hang on. Basically, the trouble with the nerve is that it's great for getting around, getting between planets and all that jazz. But if you're actually if you're slowing down to enter and do proper maneuvers, it's a bit of a ball ache. So give me, how much delta V do you think I'm going to need to do intercepts and stuff? 1,500, shall we say? Yeah. Hang on. So let's give it a smaller tank. And then give it a proper, like, a terrier or something. Something that can actually push. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a smaller version of the FL tank. Or is that it there? No. FL what? What's it called again? Sort by size. Yeah, I have sorted by size. There's lots of things under FL. What's it called again? Oh, FLT. No? What the hell? That doesn't seem to like me today. FLT, FLT. Is that it there? That's the, no, that's the one specifically for jets. T400? Where's the T400? It should be smaller. Sort by mass, not by size. There it is, T400, right in front of me. Okay, so give it a T400 and then give it a... what about spark engine? So in vacuum, 320. In vacuum, 340. So that's got, yeah, 1,000 delta V with the Terrier. With the spark, it's got 600. Give it the Terrier. Okay. Just to push it around and get it places. So do I need to give it mono? Yeah, why not? Just underneath, we're going to put a bit of mono propellant. Just a little bit. Don't need to go crazy. 1,200 should be more than enough. And then give it a few mono propellant thruster blocks. La-di-da-di-da. Okay. Cool. Get rid of that. Just as a warning, the Rapier whole thing is that they have a dual mode, but the other is that they're really inefficient. So since Duna has no oxygen, I may wish to use different rockets. Well, they should be more efficient than the ones that I've got on the existing space plane, and that's what I really need. I'm hoping they'll be fine. Well, we'll have a go. We'll keep both sets of engines, and we can always mix and match. But they should be okay, nicer. Better than what I'm currently using at the very least. Fingers crossed. Okay. Right, so put a thing there, then a nerve engine, and then sort out the staging. Right, so the nerve engine, please put that down there, and then it's going to break off and switch over to... Ah, yes, put the Rapiers on a completely different engine over here. Also the dog's snoring. So today, I've had to try and behave today. I've had to try and leave the dishcloth that's over the ant farm behind me alone. It's been a bit... Sorry, I sound incredibly sad, I realise this. But this weekend, I was finally able to coax a queen ant called Millicent into an ant farm. So she has about 7 workers, which I should have waited until she had more, to the truth be told, but I was able to get her in her test tube, which was very mouldy, so I wanted to get her out of the test tube, and she wasn't cooperating, moving into an alternate test tube, so instead I just hooked her up to the ant farm and gradually used whiskey stones, which are these cold sort of cubes of soapstone that you put in whiskey in order to cool it without diluting it. I managed to coax her down the test tube by moving these soapstones alongside her, sort of cooling down the tube behind her, and then warming up the ant farm with a heat mat. So I was rather pleased to see that I managed to get her into the ant farm, and I just need to leave her the fuck alone. She's with her brood, she has her daughters, they're looking after her. I just want her to, feel that she is safe in the ant farm. So I have taken a few sneak peeks just underneath the dishcloth to see what she's doing, and she's got herself a little queen's chamber in the that they've dug out of the side of the ant farm, and it's quite close to the plug where they entered, you see, the test tube. So they haven't moved far, and I just want to leave them the fuck alone. So, once they're sort of a bit more established, I'm going to shimmy them over to the... basically, I've got like a cupboard just over there, and I'm going to put them on lots of foam and bubble wrap and the heat pad, and I'm just going to... So hopefully that should absorb a lot of vibrations, and then just leave them alone for a few weeks. Well, making sure they've got water and everything. But, yeah, well, hopefully they'll take to the ant farm. I've never done it before, so it's quite exciting. And, yeah, the ant farm will be close enough to the PC, so yeah, I could always thread, like, a small webcam onto them, like, from time to time. Like, go, hey, how's the queen doing? Thank you, Woot. Thank you very much, Woot. Thank you. Right, sorry, I'm getting horribly distracted here. So, that's the fuel for the... Right, so 1,000. So we've got 2,000 Delta V there. Okay. Just, yeah, so that's the nerve engine, bear in mind, so we're not doing an orbital burn on that. Do we need radiators for a single nerve? I can't remember. Let's get it a couple of batteries. And also some solar panels as it makes its way through the stars. 1 second. Give it an inline battery there. Keep it all aerodynamic. Should give it a payload fairing. Yeah, hang on. So put that... where is it? Oh, do I have a decoupler? Yeah, that is the decoupler. There we go. Put it just beneath the decoupler so it goes with it. Yeah. 1 second. Payload... Oh, no, do the solar panels first. Just 2, either side. Yeah, it's fine. And then when extended, they'll do this. Sweet. Go with the longer ones. 1x6. Well, we'll see. It's less a hobby, Sam. It's more just like a minor curiosity. Who knows? We'll see. Alright. Use the jet tanks with only liquid fuel in them from the nerve engine. Not a bad shout, William. Not a bad shout. 1 second. Yeah, what happened to the... 1 second. What happened to that jet version of them? I've unlocked everything now. There's like a liquid fuel only with no oxidizer. It looks a bit different. I can... There we go. MK1 liquid fuel... liquid fuel fuselage. Liquid... Oh, I might need 2 of these. 400... wait. 400? Wrong one. Oh, okay. That on its own already has more than that. So just do 2 of them. Then I got 800 liquid fuel. What? There we go. Ah, it's even better. 2,300 just purely through the liquid fuel. Thank you very much. There we go. Now, let's go with the electricals. 1 second. Switch to thermal. I'm going to put a couple of incy-wincy... couple of incy-wincy radiators. I've never had a nerve overheat, but you never know. Right. There we go. And let's put a payload fairing for the initial launch up. Let's stick it there. There we go. Right, so do that. This fairing will keep, give us a nice aerodynamic penis thing. All right. You're very welcome, Volatile. They're good, aren't they? And thank you, Chunt IS. Thank you very much, Chunt. Thank you. And before that, Root, and before that, Largo. You're all very kind, but thank you, Chunt. Thank you very much. Okay. So that's 3,400 Delta V in a vacuum. Lovely jubbly. Let's focus on the ascent stage, shall we? So at Kerbin, let's give ourselves a nice meaty burn engine, shall we? And go up to around about there. And we'll go a bit bigger. So let's go with the... Nope. Oh, you're right, honey. Okay. Dog just rolled off the sofa. I'm not sure if she did that on purpose. What am I doing? There we go. Hey, darling. Oh, she's fine. She's fine. Thank you, TF Mr. Fox. Thank you very much, TF. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, and then we're going to put that there, going up to the larger tank. Is that the right one? Yep, liquid fuel and oxidizer. And give it a great big, what is that? So 800 liquid fuel there. And as for the engine, swivels too small, skippers too big. What do you think? A cheetah, maybe? Nah. I want to use it in the ascent stage, if at all possible. Would be nice. Hang on, what is a... Sorry, where's that other one that I like? It's... Yeah, the wolfhound. Nah, wolfhound's too big. Alright, go with the cheetah then. Let me just check the... Okay, in a vacuum. 355 in a vacuum. Okay. Yeah, should be fine. 355 in a vacuum. What about Kodiak? 300. Yeah, this is better. Okay, and then high altitude, that's 1,700. Yeah, easy capable. Although, does it have the thruster weight? No, it does not. Not capable. We need something tougher. Especially for an orbital burn, then. Skiff, maybe? Bobcat? 310 instead of 355. Thruster weight is 1.29. Yeah, that's a bit better. We could do better though, can't we? Poodle. What about the poodle? Nah. Kodiak? It's fine. Right, so let's give it a... Let's stick a twin bore on there. 4,600, yeah, stick a twin bore and then a few boosters and then I think we're good. Alright, so lift the whole thing up. So shift and then click. Akari. Okay. What difficulty do I play on? I don't know actually, sorry. It's been too long since I started the thing. Couldn't tell you. Twin bore. Yeah, up a bit please. Stick ourselves a twin bore. Lovely. Okay. It's got us plenty of gimbal action there. What do you reckon? 2 boosters? We've got tons of fucking thrust here. Give it a couple of boosters. Nothing amazing. Not Pollux's. Kickbacks maybe? Couple of kickbacks. Yeah, should be good. Lift it up. Give it a couple of structural Watsits. There we go. Alright. What the hell? There we go. What on earth is it doing? Oh, of course, it's because I'm selecting the... There we go. I'm accidentally selecting the boosters. Right. Considered satisfactory. Update 5 just came out. I need to get back into that, truth be told. Every time I did, it just wanted me to... It made me play Factorio. But I do want to play it just because, you know, on paper, it's the sort of thing that I think I would enjoy. I like seeing games push the envelope, you know? Like, hey, let's take this concept and let's tweak it. Not just clone it, let's tweak it and do something a bit more unique. And so let's take the Factorio thing and make it first person. Okay, I'm on board. Let's see how it does, you know? Right, so what is this? This is the Duna engine drop. MK whatever we're on now? 4? Fuck. Oh shit. Yeah, so this I can't remember how many attempts we've made to try and fucking send these engines over to Duna, but it's been quite a few. Right, and give me some canards? Hey, give me a few canards, there we go. No, put me in symmetry mode. Yeah, give me 4 in symmetry mode. Well, you've got so many gimbals down there. Do you really need those? Oh, we'll give it a go. Right, so we're going to launch this thing up into Kerbin orbit and then leave it there, waiting for the transfer to Dres. So, this should be very capable. Hopefully it doesn't wobble ridiculously. I have a feeling it's probably going to start wobbling. So, let's strut the thing. Thank you, Adamain. Thank you very much, Adamain. Thank you for doing that, Adamain. Do that. Strut the thing. Right, what about communications equipment? I didn't put anything on there, and we need something a bit more capable of getting to Duna, especially if it's caught in an awkward position far out. So, this communication system should be capable. Alright. Cool. Hang on, that's not actually on the final what's it, so make sure it is, otherwise we could lose control. And all we need to do is come alongside. We don't need to dock. Okay. So, checking my staging. So at the very beginning, detach from the landing pad, initiate the boosters, also initiate the twin bore, switch down to Kerbin sea level, 2000 delta V, climb. That should bring us all the way up to 60 kilometers. Detach the boosters when they're gone. Show me the thruster weight. 2.39. 72. Okay, should be fine. So 72. Detach the boosters and then initiate the... I can't remember what flavour engine. Whatever that was. Its thruster weight is not great, to be honest. At that point, we should be at altitude 66,000-ish. That's more than enough for the orbital burn, but we best burn before the app quite considerably because we cannot push the app with that engine. That's not happening. Followed by the nerve engine for the interplanetary journey to Duna, but that comes later. And then, of course, ditch the payload and then switch over to that one. Make sure it's a clamshell because I think it looks prettier, which is the important factor. And that's finally for our arrival. Slow down, meet, all that jazz. Right, that should be good enough. So, solar panels, communications, radiators, everything should be okay. Hold on. If we have to leave this in orbit in hibernation mode, just in case I forget to disable the payload, let's just give it a couple of... Alright, sweetie, what's she doing? She's being weird. Let's give it a couple of side-mounted solar what's-its, just so if I just left it floating, I don't lose control. Put that there. Yeah, they'll drop off later anyway. It's fine. All right, let's go to launch. I think everything looks fine to me. So, for those joining the stream, hopefully it doesn't wobble. We're launching up a mission to Mars, a mission to Duna. It's the, I think, 3rd or 4th attempt at doing this. We're trying to send some upgraded engines to our crew who are on the space station orbiting Duna. They've come up from the surface hoping to get access to the engines before, and that mission failed, frustratingly. For some reason, we couldn't remove the engines from their mount. So, we've sent the engines mounted atop, this time on their own completely separate mount. So this should work. Should work. This must work. I really hope this works. Otherwise I'm going to be narked off. Hey, honey. You trying to get comfortable? Yes. You've been my little shadow. Yes. You okay, honey? She's fine. You've had dinner as well. You've had lots of kibble. Belly full of kibble. Right, there we go. So, Initiate stabilizers. Show me maneuvering node. We're going to be going eastbound across the ocean. Sun is just rising. Up engine strength and see how we go. Fingers crossed it doesn't wobble. Thank you, TLH Geek, for the tier 2. Thank you very much, TLH. Thank you, sir. And thank you, Nervous Hawk, before that. And Adamain before that. And Emos Waj before that. And TF Mr. Fox before that. Sorry if I missed any of you. Thank you, all of you. And thank you, THL Geek. Stand by. Let's go. Initiating launch now. Okay. Up we go. So slow and steady. Solid fuel burn is looking good. Actually thinking about this, I'm not going to start the gravity turn until those boosters are through, because spinning might be tricky. Oh no, it should be okay. I mean, we got a fucking twin ball. We got control. We got control. Okay, so the apoapsis is now 10k. I'm going to begin a gentle gravity turn eastbound. We do have some wobble, so I best be careful. Let's go. 16k on that app. Keep moving. Stand by. Keep going. 27k on the app. Down speed on the twin ball. Keep going. Keep going. In fact, up speed on the twin ball. I need more control. Stand by. Stand by. Initiating spin. Detaching boosters. They're clear. Very good. Cut twin ball. Save the fuel until the atmospheric pressure is less. Everything's going smoothly. Switch over to orbital. Okay. "64 kilometers is our current apoapsis in 1 minute and 12 seconds. Keep curving round. We'll do a short burst to push us all the way up to 70k. I'm a little worried that we're going to get some wobble if I go full burn on the twin ball, so we really should do a burn slightly earlier than we think we need. Okay. So the rocket is now 54 kilometers, 55 kilometers high. I'm starting the burn steady now. We're 47 seconds from the apoapsis, the highest point of orbit. Stand by. Going to intentionally burn a little bit longer than just 70k, just to give me a little bit of wiggle room. I'm just worried that the next engine won't be able to push the apoapsis out in front of the rocket. Very good. Turn to face 90 degrees directly. We're almost clear of the atmosphere. It's very wispy thin up here. Okay. Some space debris. 80 kilometers that way. Very little gimbal control. Fucking reaction wheel control. Okay, so it's 38 seconds till the app, so give me gimbal. And let's burn. Let's burn. So we are moving at 730 meters per second and climbing. We need to reach 2,200. Get ready to ditch to the next engine. Stand by. Ditch. Thank you very much. So sorry, it wasn't a poodle. We should be fine. So 970 meters per second. Again, the target is. Oh, hang on. I hope this doesn't break. Give me a spin. Oh no! It's. I shouldn't have done that. Drat. It's my insistence on having clamshell fairings. They're so big, isn't it? Well, piss. And it was going so well! Oh well. Revert flight back to the launch and try again. Why did I spin it? I was hoping to fling the clamshell fairing away sideways. I did it in the middle of a burn. I wasn't smart. I was stupid. Stupid. Oh well, mistakes happen. That's how we learn things. Let's go. Indeed, the clamshells are very pretty. I'll jettison hopefully slightly before the burn so we get rid of the additional weight. Alright. So yeah, anyway, for the people just passing through the stream, please know that it's day 2 on Team Fortress 2 Bullshittery Part 1. So far I'm just going through arranging clips on the timeline. Yeah. Sorry, slow down that engine a bit. Everything's fine, just kind of cracking on with it, really. I'm gonna need quite a bit of time on this one. I'm just trying to get it all right in my head and on the timeline. But I'm hoping it should be good. Fingers crossed. Indeed, long humans, and I strongly recommend Kerbal Space Program for that reason. It gives you a very basic understanding of rocketry, and you might say, well, why does that matter necessarily? I would say it doesn't really matter, but it does help you understand our sort of place in our specific solar system. You sort of understand the challenges of space travel, and you realise, oh, hang on, sorry, I'm doing a bit too heavy on of a burn there. Sorry, I'm getting distracted, waffling. Need to focus. Give me a spin. Up the engine. Give me a gimbal. Give me a gimbal. Okay. Cut. Give me 90 degrees. There we are. So we're already up. Yeah, that wasn't very efficient. I wasn't paying attention. Whoopsie. So, yeah, it helps you better understand the challenges involved in spaceflight. Why exactly it's so tricky sending anything anywhere. Again, as the analogy that, the fairly good analogy that is done when we were in primary school. You know that one where all of the children stand in the playground or the classroom and they all grab the separate edges of a piece of fabric that is stretched between them, and then the teacher rolls the individual balls onto the fabric, and each one is supposed to represent a planet, and how it bends the fabric, showing you the gravity well that is left there. The problem is that we're sitting in an enormous deep gravity well, meaning escaping it is going to cost us, well, we're going to have to burn propellant in order to pick up enough speed to lift ourselves out of the damn dip, the cone. Right, okay, I'm going to initiate this burn. We're 36 seconds from the apoapsis. We're out of the atmosphere now. I really should ditch the clamshell first, actually. Let's do that quickly. Stand by. Ditch the clamshell. There we go. Right, gimbal, please. Give me that gimbal. Whoa, might beg your pardon, ma'am. Lift up that rocket, please. It's not an analogy that's been seen in school. Well, we did that back in, like, when I was in primary school. I remember it. We had, like, a big trampoline thing. Okay, well, in Britain, in the 90s, the experiment with the physics teacher. Anyway, the point is, we're sitting in a dip in the fabric. And if we want to escape the dip and go anywhere on that fabric, it costs us propellant. So it's all about trying to escape that dip efficiently. And I mentioned this before, I mean, in the far-flung future, like thousands of years from now, it's probably going to be unlikely that humans will even live on planets. If we can build our own habitats, our own custom-made habitats out in space, then planets will probably just be too much bloody hassle. Having to go up and down this gravity well continually. If we want anything, we'll just send out drones. Yeah, send a million drones, or like one self-replicating drone to some some asteroid, and it'll make a bunch of other drones and then bring back whatever we wanted. Because, you know, planets are just fucking hassle. Okay, so 2,200 meters per second is roughly the target. All our muscles will atrophy. You want me just, huge like fat blobs sitting in the chairs. Well, more likely not. More likely our medical technology would have advanced to the point where we're carefully tailoring every aspect of ourselves. Hell, chances are we won't even remotely resemble what we look like now. Now we are skimming the atmosphere rather lower than I was hoping. Attach that. So how long until the Perry? Drat. I failed. Okay, this mission's a wash. That burn was not hard enough, or it was too late. We're going through re-entry. Bugger! What did I do wrong there? I guess it was a very inefficient climb. Start my turn sooner. Yeah, I was babbling too much, wasn't I? Okay. Start the turn sooner. We'll put four boosters instead of 2, so and then drop down their output. Yeah, whoopsie doodle. Okay. We'll revert flight back to the fab. We got the cash anyway. Why only have 2 boosters when you can have 4? Alright. And also, while I'm here, let's give ourselves a little bit more SAS, not RCS. Or arse. This flight has insufficient arse. Alright, so... Coupling, payload, what am I looking for? Command and control, that's it. There we go. Whoops. That is too much arse. That's too lower down. Give me arse up here. There we go. I've done it again. Oh. There's no middle thing? Evidently not. There we go. Alright. So instead of just 2, let's give me 4. There we go. So 4 kickbacks. Raise the rocket up. Drop all kickbacks down to around 42. What's my thruster weight? Same. Roughly. And then do that. That should work, I hope. Yeah, should be alright. Okay. Give that a quick save. And try again. Hang on, I'll zoom in on the alien over there. She hitched a ride back on one of our rockets and won't leave the space center. She keeps eating all of our food. Strange, smelly creature. Alright. So here we go. Checking staging. Everything looks fine. We are clear of the ground. Yeah, we're fine. Cool. Let's give it another welly. I'll try to be a bit more careful on the ascent this time. Up engine, and here we go. Whoops. Maybe I was a bit too lax on the booster strength. Okay. You never had that lesson? Strange. Okay. Maybe it was just a British thing. Add separatrons? I'm hoping we shouldn't need them. Do I have fluorescent lights in my flat? There's a weird light flutter. Is there? I don't know what sort of bulb. It's in the kitchen. It was put in by the landlord. It's a very weak bulb. Right. Weird. Okay. Just because they've got the lights turned down. Drat. Maybe I did tone down the amount of thrust on those boosters way too much. Because we're about to run out of liquid fuel for the twin bore, which is the thing that was maintaining them. Okay, we're going to have to be very careful then. To start the gravity turn carefully, we're going to have to control them with the canards. Okay. Keep going. Right. Down liquid all the way down, please. Leave it only to the boosters because I'm gonna need you. Engine off. I'm gonna need you. Wait. If I don't have gimbal control when I start the spin, we're gonna struggle to recover from the spin. Still a pretty ineffective climb, truth be told. Initiate spin. There we go. Yeah, we went all the way up to 101 kilometers. Yikes. Alright. Oh look! Oh wow! Ooh, that's cool. 6 kilometer piece of xenon hauler debris. Sweet. That's a close one. Very close. A busy space lane now. Alright. So 1 minute and 10 seconds till the app. We're going to burn on like 40 seconds. Okay. I can delete the debris, but it's just so much fun seeing it. Being all like, oh look, it's a piece of another mission. Okay. 48 seconds, initiate the burn. Here we go. Watch out for that wobble. Get ready to ditch. And ditch. Thank you. Whoops, guess who forgot the fairing? Stand by. Clamshell fairing. Okay. So, yeah, did I fail again? I have a feeling I might have done. Well, we're higher up this time, so I've got a little bit more breathing space. But all the same, we're only 18 seconds from the app and we're burning with a much weaker engine. Maybe I should just go get a fucking, like, mainsail or something. And be like, fuck you. Okay. Did I put decouplers on the engines? No, not this time. I'm just put them separate alone, so not attached to each other like they were before. How come I don't play the other space game? Which one? What? Kerbal pretty much stands alone. Well, I suppose there's, what's it called? What's that other astronaut sim on the moon? The one with John Madden. John Madden. Thank you, Cruller. Thank you very much, Cruller. Yeah. Snake. Snake. Snarky. Moonbase alphabet. Oh dear. Okay. Really? We're using a nerve for the remainder of the orbital burn? Evidently we are, and it's not gimbaled. Ha! All I've got is the RCS on the probe and it can't control it. Okay. I'll switch over to the mono for now. Just get it on the right path. So how much delta V do we have in total? 3,000, which, yeah, should be fine. No reaction wheel? Well, there was back there for the climbing stage, but I figured the probe's reaction wheel enough would be fine. Technically it is. Okay. And almost done. Perry's climbing. Almost done. What's the mission? Put this thing in orbit and then send it over to Duna. There's a couple of replacement engines. Alright. And job done. Stable orbit achieved. Okay, there we go. So can this mission get to Duna? Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah, I reckon so. Worst comes to the worst, we'll do a bit of aero braking delicately. Extend the radiators. extend the solar panels. Okay. Cool. There we go. So we'll leave that in orbit and come back later. So let's go back down to the ground. So we need to wait for the transfer to Duna, well, to get to Duna anyway. So put that in hibernation on. Okay. And then leave it facing prograde. And then the probe will delicately maneuver it like so. Alright, cool. It's losing altitude pretty quickly. Indeed, so it's falling around Kerbal. So orbit is little more than controlled falling. Falling so fast that we're avoiding the curvature. So our highest point is 254 kilometers. Our lowest point just skims the atmosphere, but it stays out of it. It'll be fine. So long as it doesn't go below 70 kilometers, it won't encounter the drag enough to bring it down. Okay, so back to the Space Center we go. That'll wait there for us over the course... Oh, forgot to put the probe in hibernation mode. That's fine. We'll just stay online. Alright. So, let's now think about sending something chunkier. So it's going to be a bit more expensive, a lot more expensive. Now, I need to send a ship that's going to mine ore at Ike, deliver the ore into orbit, and also a smaller one. So hang on a minute. A smaller one that's going to scan first. Do we need that first stage? Oh, that should be fairly simple. We don't need to send up something massive. Okay. So, let's think about this. So let's design the miner first, shall we? For that reason, let's drop over to the other editor. Go to the Spaceplane Lab. Okay. So, an automated mining vessel for Ike. Thank you, Rizai-Wanul, and welcome indeed. Welcome indeed, Rizai. I hope you're okay. And thank you, Nickeptic. Thank you very much, Nickeptic. 1 minute, please. I'm just going to pour myself a quick drink. Where's that water? Piss, did I leave the filter over there? I did. I left it on the floor over there. 1 moment. Whee! Sorry, just grabbing the water filter thing. Got one of those filter jugs because the water down here in Brighton is terrible. It's really thick. Like you pour water into a glass and you can just see the build-up of just crap all over the sides. Ugh. Okay. Thank you, Johnny, but that isn't. You don't have to at all. Other people have been extremely generous, more so than I could ever repay. So thank you, folks. But yeah, no, feel free to just sit back and hang out. Welcome, Johnny. Yeah, okay, hang on a second. Thank you, Akuma. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can you get a hug, says Akuma. Well, I would, but you might stab me. You might be like a spy. Thank you, Mr. Fox. Thank you. All the best, you, Akuma. Sorry, bear with me. I'm just pouring drinks. Okay. You alright, honey bunny? What you doing? You think I'm getting treats, maybe? Okay, so... did I lose the music? 1 minute. Yes, I did. Let's pick this one then. Hang on. This one? So, a mining vessel that's going to go to Ike. Let's think about this then. We could use this bigger drone core, couldn't we? So, tanks to store the ore should be our first priority. And we should give it wheels so it can drive around in order to find the deposits. Although, truth be told, if we haven't landed it on the deposit when Ike has no atmosphere to speak of, then we've cocked up rather horrendously. Nevertheless, give it something. Give it legs and wheels so we can have options, really. Thank you, Potato. Thank you very much, Potato Totalitarian. Thank you for doing that, Potato. You're very kind. Thank you for doing that. Okay. So, let's go to... Is it utilities, do you think? Cargo? No. Utilities, maybe? No. I'm looking for... Okay, it's counted as a fuel tank. Okay, do they only come in that form? So an ore holding tank, 300 units of it. Well, obviously it's going to need... so, you know, I've got to think about this from the perspective of fuel storage, first and foremost. So, let's give it that inner segment, right? You'll see my logic momentarily. Okay. Then we give it a front segment there, which isn't... So this is purely going to be for fuel storage. And then, how much fuel? Let's give it quite a bit, and we can always give it a couple. You know, we can always give it a couple of empty segments to really lessen the weight. In fact, maybe we should. Okay. Liquid fuel storage. Give it both. Yeah, not mono. Picked the wrong one. Okay. So, what about the refinery? So it needs to have the ability to land, drive around, deploy itself, mine, and then refine. So, command and control. Use the cargo bay that can hide the ore tank. I don't know, I rather like the look of it, to be honest. Looks kind of unique. Payload the cargo bay that hides the ore tank? Maybe, actually, now that you mention it. That could be quite cool. Let's have a look. Let's compare, eh? Like that, you mean? Does it fit? Yes, it does. That's kind of cool, though, doesn't it? Hang on. Stick it there. Yeah, that's kind of nifty. Holy shit. Maybe like... bloop. Although, will it be able to open the doors when it lands? I mean... For that matter, can we hide the drill in there, do you think? And be like... bloop? Looks like a penis. Yeah, a little bit, actually, yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, what about the drills and the... Yeah, so we only really need the one drill. And also the one, just one refinery. So command and control, not structural, not robotics. Science, maybe? No. Here. Utility. So Drill-O-Matic Junior can be extended here. So deploy straight down. Not so sure it's going to absolutely have a... Whoopsie. Have the right position. Shit. Curse you. There we go. Just select the drill, please. Let's put it on the tail for now. No, it's going to be awkward because that's going to be where it's attaching to the rest of it. Put that to the side for now. Just keep planning. What about the refinery? Presumably it's here. The Convertitron. Yikes. Go with the smaller one. Okay. You know what? As cool as the cargo bay is, I actually rather prefer it if it looks like this. What if we did this? I think that it just looks cooler. Like that, as a sort of... We'll have the legs deployed like chink clink down. Yeah, I think it just looks cooler. Right. And so... Structural. So we can add some pretty lightweight girder sections here. So do that here. and give me symmetry mode here. Okay, and then take this and drop that sideways to tighten that in there, and then move it forward. There we go. Move it there. Then can I just slip them in, or do I need to attach a new part? Can I just fit it in there? No, attach it back here. It's fine. Okay. Thank you, Tick Trees. Is that how you say it? Thank you, Tick Trees, and thank you again, Potato Totalitarian and Tango Alpha Roma Nova. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Potato, Tick Trees, and Tango. Thank you, folks. Thank you for your kindness. Okay, so we'll put that there, and then let's go over to the wheel segments and give it a bit of locomotion. So, yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Could shimmy them down, couldn't I? Hang on. Too small. What if we did this and then had... Okay. And then I'll move them down a smidge. So 1, 2. Whoops, move it in a little bit as well. Then this set here. Yeah, I'm okay. Rick Van de Donk, I'm good, sir. Today I've been working on Team Fortress 2 bullshittery, and it's been fine. Just gotten started, really. The ants are fine, don't ask. Yeah, everything's good. Just kind of cracking on, really. Just, Is the arse too chunky? The arse may well drag on the ground. That should work. Okay. It's got like a bit of a caterpillar look to it. Is it only Millicent left? Millicent and Debbie, or Deborah. So, Sinai's super hot girlfriend's one is called Queen Millicent, and she's the one with the 7 workers. And Deborah, the other queen ant, is in her test tube, and she hasn't had any workers yet. I'm starting to wonder if she even mated. Queen ants can apparently lay these eggs which only serve as a food source. So maybe she's just doing that for the sake of trying to survive what she perceives as the winter. Or maybe she can't have workers because she did not mate. We'll have to see. Okay, stand by. I'm just going to dial down the fuel. So, without fuel, if I were to send that to Ike and land it, that would weigh what? Just under 5 tons. That's actually rather lightweight for what that is. That's pretty damn lightweight. You know, my moon lander was 5 tons. You know, that dinky little moon lander? Okay. So, in terms of communication, let's give it one of the... Where's the drill? Good shout. We've got the drill. I'll put it on there momentarily. So give it one of those antennas. We've already got a relay arrays over at Duna, and we're going to have to think about the rather substantial power requirements. Okay. So batteries. So put them on the top so we do not on the side. Okay. Right. Now then, in terms of power, whoa, those are a bit larger than I was expecting. What about the Gigantor ones? They're probably a bit more appropriate, aren't they? It's like a dragonfly. Doesn't he have nuclear reactors yet? So what these things, where are they? These tiny things, the radioactive decay ones, they don't generate much power though, do they? Are you supposed to like launch them in huge, like shit tons of them? Dotted all over the craft? So, electrical charge 0.8. That's rubbish. They're for smaller craft. Yeah, they're never going to work. Okay. So how much power drain would we have? I mean... Wait 1 second. Pretty good as a backup power source. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, having one aboard just in case, like you're in the dark side of a crater and your ship's powered down. Makes sense. Right. Oh yeah, that's true. Also, if you're going to a planet where it just doesn't get sun. We're only going to Ike though, which is the moon of Duna. It's further away from the sun, but not cripplingly. Okay. I think we'll be fine. If we get to the point where this thing goes where there is no sun, then the mission is probably on a catastrophic failure anyway. There's, you know. Sorry, what was I thinking? I had something in my mind. Yes, I was just going down here to the utilities. So which one do we have? We have the smaller one, don't we? So the Convertitron, inputs, outputs. So resource converter, liquid fuel and oxidizer. There we go. We should give it a monopropellant tank as well, just so we can store some of that. And we need ways for landers to lock on. Okay. Okay, so 30 per second electrical charge, that's easy. And the Junior, Drillomatic Junior, Comet Drill, Core Heat. Oh yes, we're going to need radiators as well, aren't we? Radiate the heat from the drill. Resource Harvester, Electrical Charge. Oh, it's not even, yeah, just under 1. So what, it needs 31 solar energy per second. Okay. And the Gigantors provide 24. Okay, so 2 of these will be fine. It is a bit further away from Kerbal, though. But I imagine these 2 should be fine. And we should give it substantial... Yeah, make sure it's got decent batteries so mining operations can continue even at night. Okay. Put the batteries there. Okay. You can use 8 drills with that processor thing. Sure, but we don't need to go that extreme. And we should probably put the put the Junior Grabber on the front. Okay. And hell, and then if needs be, if a craft that's a good idea, sorry. If a craft comes in for refuel, we don't bring the craft to the refueler, we can just snake this thing straight over there. Ooh. Put the batteries in the scaffolding? Yeah, alright. Yeah, you're right. Does look a bit cooler, doesn't it? Is it properly on it though? Yeah, this is going to land on... this will land on Ike. Okay. So, let's go to the front. Give it a structural... What's it? Ooh, do we have one of these... Yeah, too small. Should give it lights and shit. Nah, get rid of that. Give it the Junior Clampatron. So standby. Command and control. Ooh, I've just had a fun idea. Okay, hang on. Give me calculations for Ike. Okay, vacuum Ike. Give me Verners, which use liquid fuel, and then if I put 2 there and then give it just an eensy weensy bit of fuel. Ah, they don't appear in the staging, of course, because they're just Verners. Drat. I was hoping to do like a cool drop it down and then it goes like lowers itself via the Verners. We could always try. Yeah, they're just RCS, but they've got quite a bit of punch to them. A surprising amount of thrust in the Verners. I mean, yeah, like that, you see, and then we'll do a quick little downward squirt. Okay. All right. Just a normal small engine for the control. We shouldn't need it. The wheels should be able to handle it. So disable all steering apart from the front, which is enabled. Yes, show center of mass. There we go. So that center of mass is going to shift horrendously when we start mining. Or will it though? Yeah, be more backloaded. Okay. Should be fine though. Let's... So the mining thing. Also, what was that anchor? You know that new thing that they put in? What is this exactly? Stampatron anchor. Ground anchor. Cargo part that can be placed inside inventories. Oh. So what, a Kerbal has to put that down? I think. Oh yeah, it's not a part that you attach. Okay. Right, so let's not forget the so the junior grabber. So structural robotics. What's the time? Time's ticking on. It would be nice to launch this and get this over there. Drills, radiators, and a probe core. No, the probe core's on there, but good shout about the drills and the radiators. Yes. So get itself a junior extractor on the rear. Deploy. What about a regular one? Nah, go with the junior. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, junior's fine. Spin it round. Not that way. Not that way. Not that way. What the? Stop it. There we go. Right. That's going to complicate deploying this thing. Huh. So what if I mounted them on the side instead? Okay, hang on. There. That one's upside down. Okay. Ah! What you do? Why you do that? Ah, there we go. And then deploy. There we go. So they'll be able to penetrate the ground easily. Just put on the brakes, initiate the traction, and then the drilling operation would begin. Retract the drill. Okay. So, what about the heat that these would generate? So collectively, the two drills... Now, I never really had to mess around with the heat much. So core heat, optimal temperature, shutdown temperature 1000 K, optimal temp 500. Required cooling 50 kW, max cooling 50. Okay. So, radiators. Radiators. Core heat, max cooling. 250K? Those are really big ones, aren't they? And they deploy. Whoop, too big. Don't worry. Small. So how much do these do? 50k each, so one per drill. Okay. Those would work fine then, wouldn't they? Place them here and here. Oh, I see. They're not deployable. You just place them there. Okay. Just place them above the drills. There and there. That should work fine. Okay. Looking pretty good, I think. What about coupling? Advanced grabbing unit. Advanced grabbing unit junior. How much does that weigh versus that? Yeah, much lighter. Go with the junior. Yeah, what do you think, chap? I think it's pretty good. We'll take it for a test drive outside to make sure it actually works. But yeah, batteries, power. Okay, radiators, locomotion, a couple of burners underneath. Okay, so I think the solar energy should be okay. So let's now call it. What should we call it? Any good names? So it's going to be an Ike mining vessel. Ike mining vessel. Peter the Penetrator. Oh yes, the lights. We'll put some lights. Chunky ass mining vessel. Caterpillar. Caterpillar could do. Drilly McDrillface is also pretty good. The Ike mining vessel. Radiators for the refinery. Ah, good shout. I didn't include the refinery in the calculations for my heat generating. Penis on wheels. Jeff. Jeff's good. Optimal temperature 1000, shutdown required cooling 100. So 2 more radiators. That should be okay. Okay. Which will put them there. Similar position. Whoopsie. Cool. The driller pillar. Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's good. I think that works for me. Jeff. So this is Jeff. Let's take Jeff outside, shall we? So, launch Jeff. Alright. Oh yes, the lights. Thank you. I forgot the lights. What does that sound? The dog is dreaming and she thinks she's drinking. Look. She's acting as though she's drinking something in her dream. Whatever it is, I hope it's tasty. Okay, so let's have a look then. So front wheel steering. Here's Jeff. Yeah, it seems fine. So Jeff will trundle along. It doesn't have to be particularly speedy, it just needs to be able to maneuver in order to head towards the vessels it's going to be refueling. Watch out for that bank. Okay. Cool, sufficient clearance between the main body of it. Thank you, Amna Roxanne. Thank you very much, Amna. Thank you. Got some speed on it as well. Hey. Alright, watch out. Let's just deploy one of the solar arrays. Reduce our speed a bit before we smash into the side of the astronaut complex. Whoa, there we go. Alright. Yes, there are no doubts going to be some quizzical looks from the accounting department outside their window. What are they doing at R&D right about now, Okay, Jeff can't turn worth a damn, so we best be careful. Very good. 1 second, I've got an idea. So this is the VAB. That's where we build the shuttles. So bring Jeff all the way around. There we go. So where is the administrative centre with all the executive offices and all that jazz? Ooh, no, better yet, over here. So there's the administrative offices. So here's the astronaut complex. Yeah, there should be a few Kerbal nauts in there right now looking at us. They see one of the contraptions from the spaceplane center driving over to the decorative pond next to the car park. And for some reason starts drilling operations into the decorative pond. Deploy the drill. There we go. Start processing, I don't know, gravel into liquid fuel. It's not processing. Oh, I didn't actually start. There we go. Start surface drilling. Drilling operation has begun. Are we getting any ore? No. A few ducks, though. Okay. Cool, it works. So let's go back to the thing, give it a monopropellant tank before I forget, and then give it a, yes, and then some lights. And then I think we're good to go. Revert flight back to the hangar. Alright. So, in terms of lights, go to utility. Yeah, I could give it some big ones. What should we give it? So for those joining the stream, you're looking at the Ike miner known as Jeff. Navigation lights. Switch these on. They're a bit small. Dome light. Hang on. Symmetry mode. What do they look like when switched on? Oh, that could be quite cool. Yeah, then move them out just a little bit. Yeah, dome lights. Cool. Yeah, kind of cool. And then what should we do? Let's make them red, maybe? Red dome lights, green, yellow. Yellow's good. Yeah, don't worry about blinking. Hey, nice. Down the hull, just put a few of those yellow dome lights. Cool. It's got an underlit carriage. Turn those on, yep. Sweet. Yeah. Nice. Okay, and then give it a couple of monopropellant radial tanks. We don't need to go crazy, truth be told. Alternatively, whoops, on the front. Well, that's too big. Yeah, monopropellant. There. Sweet. There we go. And that's Jeff. So save Jeff. And then, yeah, just leave a smidge of fuel in there just for the sake of the Verners. Yeah, so this is what I'm thinking. If we get to the landing site of Ike, and then we have to land on our bum, which we probably will, Jeff is going to have to fall forward onto its belly, and that's when I trigger the Verners. That's what's in my mind there. So we initiate the Verners just to slow the fuck down and turn what could be a timber type situation into the ground, into a bit of a, you know, ooh. Yeah. Okay, sweet. Now let's give it a... Well, let's take it straight over to the VAB and build a big-ass rocket for it, eh? Right. Switch editor. Over to the VAB. Hello, Jeff. So... There we go. Lift Jeff up. Alright, there we go. We're going to have to shroud Jeff in a bit of a big old fairing. Okay, so hang on, thinking about this. Jeff is only one part of the mission. There are other parts that I need to consider, and that is... actually, do I? I was just going to say, we could send... We could send like a vehicle up and down from orbit of Ike with the fuel, or we could just send the space plane to Jeff. I'm not sure what the better option would be there. Save that for another mission. Let's just get Jeff over there. Fuck. If I'm sending... Just wondering. Let's just get Jeff in space. Okay. So, coupling, decoupling. Yeah, get it all on a decoupler. Yeah, just keep it simple for now. We do definitely need to have a middle section that will detach from Jeff, which will have the probe, so the satellite that is going to look for ore. So, what would be the best way to do that? Thinking about that. Yeah, I've got an idea. What if we'll build like a middle segment just behind Jeff, and we'll have the nose cone spin around and grab it, and then all of it gets pushed? When will we do that, though? I've got to consider when to do that. That's going to be quite tricky. Or I could just put the ore scanner on Jeff. Damn it, I didn't think of this. Hang on. Because even if I send the ore scanner, we don't have the ability to actually scan for ore, do we? No! We do. That's what I'm sending. Don't I have a timer for that? Transfer to Dres. Damn, I could have sworn I've already sent an ore scanner up to Dres. Huh. Tell you what I'll do for the minute. Let me just give it an ore scanner, and then later on, we can always just have one of the engineers pick it up and move it to the dedicated vehicle that's going up and down. That still doesn't make any sense because I don't know where to land Jeff until I know where the ore is. Two payloads, one rocket. Okay. Let's just tell you what. Let's just get Jeff up there, and an alternate mission we could always send on the same transfer. Yeah, get him up there because we're running out of time. An alternate mission could send the ore probe and the other vehicle that's going to link with Jeff. Yeah, simple. Thank you, Matsuyu. Thank you very much, Matsuyu. Okay. Can't the orbital station on the same rocket? Indeed, really, I could, but I just want to try and keep it simple. Thank you, Snippion. Thank you very much, Snippion. And hi there, Naughty Ostrich. Right. So, let's give ourselves a bit. So, this is the bit that's going to break off, deploying Jeff onto the surface. Now, let's have the engine that's going to take Jeff down to Ike. Okay. So, we need a 5,000 Delta V rocket. So, it's got 0 right now. So, in vacuum, and I don't know if it matters if I select the exact planet, but let's do it anyway. So, it shouldn't take much, truth be told. So right, let's give it 1,500 Delta V for maneuvering when it actually arrives in Duna and for the subsequent landing. So, give it fuel tank. Bigger. Bigger? Oh, we're going quite chunky already, are we? Okay, evidently we are. Bigger. Nope, too big. Sort by mass, not by name. There we go. Right, so if I stuck an engine on that, whatever engine really. Thank you, Cody Rocks. Cody Rock Streams. Thank you, Cody. Thank you for doing that, Cody, and welcome indeed. Thank you. Yeah, everything's fine here. Just kind of cracking on. Mr. Boring, truth be told. I'm building spaceships and looking after ants and editing a bullshittery. Okay, 1 second. Poodle. So how much power does this have? 1,158. It's not too bad. Poodle's not too bad. Maybe it is a little bit more. 1 second. Yeah, give it double. There we go. What have we got there? So that's 1,900. That should be fine. So that's our maneuver around Duna. And come to Ike and touchdown engine. Right there. Thank you, Ice Star and Ben Poggers. Thank you, both of you. Thunder, so I just started one yesterday. It's going to be Team Fortress 2. And yeah, I'm just assembling the clips on the timeline and just trying to get it all right in my head. Okay. So, that's the Poodle engine. Now then, we need... So what's next? So that's the Ike. So yeah, we need an intercept with Duna, don't we? So let's do... What shall we do, actually? A nerve engine might be the most efficient, but a nerve engine? Meh. How long has it been since the last person asked about bullshittery? Well, to be fair, people come and go. People come and go in and out of the live stream in the same way that people turn radios off and on and listen to what's on, so it's not unreasonable that people would want to know what the weather is. Or in this case, what the next bullshittery is and when. Okay. Should I go straight up to the Kerbadine? Why not? I mean... yes, I know about that naughty ostrich. Yeah. For the minute, though, I've just got a small handful of workers doing their thing. They're rather cute. Okay, hang on a second. Which is better, Kerbal or Space Engineers? Not really an apt comparison. They're both aiming for completely different targets and doing completely different things. Space Engineers is a block-based sandbox building game, much more akin to Minecraft, where you build something out of your own imagination, and the blocks do different things, but you can assemble them any which way you want. This one is very, very different, where the blocks do extremely specific things, and you need to match extremely specific requirements to get scientific exploration points on the various different bodies of this solar system, replicating what NASA does with its probes and shuttles. This is a sim. So this is a space sim. Space Engineers is Minecraft in space. Okay. So... bigger engine. What's that? That's too small. Bigger engine. Really? A Kerbadine? Am I going that big? Ooh, dearie. Thank you for saying so, Vincent. Thank you. Glad you like him. One moment. So... Vacuum Ike 2000. More than enough. Plenty, in fact. Break that off. Wait, that's wrong. What the fuck am I doing? Leave that. Yeah, that's fine. Break that off. That's the same stage. Okay, this engine. 2,300. That seems like I picked the wrong one. Hang on. Is it a Wolfhound that I want? No. What's the... hang on. The Kerbadine. 340 vacuum efficiency. 305, 310. Oh no, okay. Evidently this is the one I want. Where's the fairing? Good shout. I forgot the fairing. I'll do that in a minute. Okay, so 2,300. Okay. Yeah, leave that as is. And then let's just get a huge fucking meaty rocket on the back of this and launch this thing up into orbit and then get it orbiting. So try not to... yeah, I must not dip into that for the for the orbital burn. Alright, so if this is indeed the thing that's going to be going up there, it's probably going to need a proper reaction wheel, because I seriously doubt that little tiny thing is going to handle this beastie. There we go. Is there a tutorial for new players to Kerbal? Oh, I think so, Tibetan. I'm pretty sure there is. But truth be told, the career mode does really start you off small. Don't worry. It will give you just a tiny handful of parts and a small number of objectives. Yeah. You won't necessarily get super overwhelmed. You're looking at very late gameplay, this. Super late gameplay. It won't throw all this at you from the beginning, trust me. Yeah, first mission is quite literally go up, you know. Test this part 12 feet, get a ladder, go to the space center, get a couple of mates and a crate of beers. You know, that's... I'm not even exaggerating that much there. Your first objective is like, go to 100 meters or something. Don't worry. It's good though, I strongly recommend it. Yeah, Kerbal is a hard recommend from me. Okay, so let's give it a big old engine for its orbital burn. So, let's take us up to... right about there. And give it something chunky. Let's give it something chunky. I've got the cash. I've got lots of cash. Yeah. 4. And then give it 4 of these little buggers. Alright, there we go. That's like a nozzle for a Saturn V, isn't it? Oh, there we go. So, altitude, so yeah. Sea level, 3,000. Yeah, this is fucking powerful, holy shit. Not as expensive as I was expecting. 174,000. Figured it'd be more. Well, I haven't added the boosters yet, so we'll add boosters. Yeah, I shouldn't be shy when it comes to the cash now. We've got quite a bit. I shouldn't shouldn't hold back. So, give me 4. Okay. Oh yeah, I've got the fairing. Let's go up, do the fairing, get that shit sorted. Okay. Just thought of something. That junior grabber. Right, I'm going to do something. I'm sorry, Jeff, to do this to you. See this junior grabber? I'm going to grab that and we're going to stick it, just for now, here. Why? Because that's not going to be utilized until someone arrives to refuel. Okay? So when they do... In fact, shimmy it forward. So if they do want to refuel and they don't have an engineer, they still can. But ideally, they'll have an engineer. Put it there. So what am I going to put here instead? We're going to put a small alternate vessel, which is going to have an ore scanner, which is just going to stay in orbit above Ike. Yeah. Something that can access the curb net. Something dinky. So stand by. Sort by mass. So just give me a teeny weeny probe. Something small. Right. Cargo. So can this access the CurbNet scanner? Yes it can. CurbNet access. Biome and terrain. Right. Put a tiny probe on the top. Put a decoupler. So we'll detach this just before we go down to Ike, and this thing will stay in orbit scanning. In fact, we may as well give it a teeny weeny engine, and then it can move itself up to a polar orbit. And then we can, continue the operations. Take care, Final Moonlight. Have a good one. Is that even wise? Why have a probe when I could just have Jeff do it? Jeff, you can access the curb net, can you not? What's that? Drone control. Stand by. Yes, you can. Biome and terrain. Okay. No. Ignore what I just said. Jeff is going to pick it. Jeff is a single probe who needs no man. What? Give him the science thing. Right, give him this. The narrowband scanner. It's going to look ugly as hell, I'm afraid, Jeff, but you just have to go with me here. Right. Okay, leave that there. So, this scanner will be able to let him use the curb net in order to determine where the best landing site will be. We don't need a proper probe. We can always snap that off later. An engineer can come down and pull it off if needs be. Alright. Give it a save. It's fine. Yeah, let's give it a proper payload now. So, payload. Oop, pardon me. Is that still too big? Let's go here. Right, so is that fairing capable of covering Jeff? Yes, it can. Bon voyage, Jeff. Bon voyage. There we go. Jeff now has his fairing. I would deploy that clamshell, but frankly, that seems like a bit of a mistake. Let's leave it non-clamshell so it segments into smaller pieces that won't hopefully smash into Jeff and make him explode. Okay. Reattach the rocket. How are we doing? Let's give some big ass boosters and then get this thing up into orbit because I want to see this thing fly towards Duna. The transfer is approaching, so you know. La-di-da-di-da. Okay. Boosters. Thoroughbreds? Yeah. Kickbacks? Thoroughbreds? Those are pretty big. Again, I should stop being shy with the cash. I think career mode has put me too much in the mindset of, ooh, gotta save money. We've got tons of money. Fucking... Jesus. This might be going a bit too far. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. We're definitely going to need some Separatrons if we did decide to launch that. So move the whole array down. Oh, bloody hell. Give it some aerodynamic nose cones. Too small. Too small. Sort by mass. Bloody hell, too big. Too big. Just right. Yeah, make them an angry orange colour. Can we do these boosts? Ah, no, shame. Okay, so here we go. So Jeff the rocket. Well, Jeff is the name of the rover, but it's the whole rocket now, I guess. Okay, so boosters there. Give Jeff a save. Boosters launch here. Thrust to weight ratio is good on their own. Then they break off. Make sure the engines are utilised at the same time. Sea level Kerbin, 2,400 delta V. We only need an additional 1,000, which we've got more than enough. So this should be capable of getting all the way up to orbit, and should be enough to do an orbital burn as well on its own. Okay, good. And then we don't have to dip into that tank. Cool. Thank you, Swims with Swans 95. Thank you, Swims. And before that, Claudius, and before that, Sir Hupoo, and before that, Naughty Ostrich. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. Right. So detach. Sorry, that staging's incorrect. What's supposed to go there? That strut and then that engine. That's the payload. The fairing even. Okay, then the fairing and then the next engine. Reaction wheel. We've got one up there. So by the time this breaks away and that reaction wheel has control, it should be roughly the center of mass. We should be okay. All right. Let's give it some proper structural whatsits. Okay. And then let's also... I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten? I was going to... Oh yes, separatrons. So, rather than just let these fall away on their own, I'd normally just have a quick little spin. Oh yeah, struts is probably advisable as well. We can have a small number of separatrons push the sucker away. So have these separatrons launch the boosters the fuck away from the craft, please. Might need a few of them. So they're just dinky versions of solid fuel boosters, which are going to launch this thing safely away from the craft. Cool. They should all be pointing in the right direction. Yeah! Lovely. Now just make sure that all the separatrons are on the correct... So there, they need to be in staging 4. There we go. So, for the people just joining the stream this evening, welcome indeed. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely start to your week. You're looking at a mission to Duna, which is the in-game equivalent of Mars. It's a bit of an over-engineered rocket for that purpose, but I just want to make sure it gets there safely. So girders, then, yep, main engine, then boosters, and then they break off with the separatrons. That's correct. And then, yes, that should be fine. Okay, so when it gets to Mars, it's actually not going to land on Mars. It's going to go to the nearby moon of Ike, which is the in-game equivalent of... Fuck, I can't remember their names. Phoebos and Deimos? Whatever they're called. The two moons of Mars in the real world. There's just one in the game, just called Ike. So a very weird-shaped, lumpy potato-type thing. Basically a captured asteroid. So it wasn't there since Duna's formation. Duna pinched it, probably from the asteroid belt. And in real life, one of those moons, I can't remember which one, is on a pretty nasty decaying orbit. Within a few thousand years, it's actually going to collide with Mars. It's going to be pretty spectacular, but rather frustratingly, we might have to do something about that if we're terraforming Mars. It'd be such a shame to lose it to a moon impact. Not that it's a particularly big moon. The two moons of Mars are, what, something like... Is that 20 and 15 kilometers across? They're really, really quite small, actually. Again, captured asteroids. They're not anything fantastic. Okay. Right, I think we're good to go. Let's give it a test. Oh, struts. When in doubt, more struts. Okay. Any more struts? I think we're good. Cool. Give it a save. It's going to cost me 261,000 to take out to the launch pad. Let's do that now. What do I mean, do something about it? What could be done? Well, effectively, if we have the technology at the time, you could put big engines on the side of the thing and just increase its speed, and therefore increase its altitude, increase its orbit. Again, this is hypothetical. We don't really have the technology to do that right now, but yeah, the principle, I mean, should work okay. Just a question of resources, really. Fins, please? Do we need fins? Maybe. Truth be told, we have 4 gimbaled vectors. Or blow it up? Nah, that won't work. So bear in mind that in the asteroid belt, you've got quite a few asteroids which are in fact known as rubble piles. They're not actually complete, they're just like piles of gravel, effectively, being kept together under the same gravity. The same would happen with, well, one of the moons of Mars. If you were to attack it with any weapon, really, yeah, you'd blow up a little bit, but then the whole thing would just fall back into itself, forming a rubble pile. In fact, depending on the situation, attacking an asteroid with weapons is the worst thing you want to do, because you're just going to create hundreds, if not thousands, of individual projectiles, all with the same total mass, which are going to be much harder to deal with. Yeah, the sci-fi approach will doom you. You need to just increase the asteroid's speed, so big engine on the side and just push it. Yeah, you're going to turn a slug into birdshot. Yeah, effectively that. So Armageddon wasn't realistic? No. No. They would get to the center of that asteroid and they would detonate that nuke, and then nothing would happen to the asteroid's trajectory. Because you've done a nuclear explosion. Nothing. The amount of energy a nuclear. Did you see the size of that bomb? Did you see the size of the bomb that they bought? It was so small. It fitted perfectly between Steve Buscemi's legs. He was riding the fucking thing. It was so small that he could ride it like it was a fucking horse. Do you really think an asteroid that is so big, that it's so massive, that the smaller pieces devastated New York ahead of it? Do you think it's going to give a shit about a tiny little bomb? No way. Yeah, the power of just like this projectile coming at you, moving at thousands and thousands of meters per second. Yeah, little nuke ain't going to do shit against that, except make it harder to deal with. Anyway, sorry, I'm going off ranting. So, we're good to launch. There we go. Initiate and stabilize is good. Stabilize, yeah. We're good to go and launch. And we are off. Yeah, for real. Just in general. I know it seems like a bit of a makes you think sort of thing, but yeah, generally the forces that we can bring to bear in a military sense are really nothing compared to just normal natural forces all around us. Hang on, sorry, maybe I should focus on this actually, on the ascent. But I'm thinking of that video that was mocked by many people on the internet about, detonate a nuke at the bottom of the Mariana Trench and we'll all die! It's like, no! The ocean would barely notice. Okay, let's start this gravity turn. Let's go. I've still got control, all is good. I can up the engine if necessary, but we're all good. Come on, let's get this turn in play. Let's go. Oh, switch here, wrong thing. Come on, let's go. Got places to be. Planets to mine. Okay, and detach. Thank you. Lovely. Although we might want to Piss. Are we going to spin fully? Fine, just commit. That's inconvenient, but we're still some distance away from the apoapsis. Pretend that was on purpose. I did a backflip for style. Yeah. I made more space trash? Nah, it's fine. We weren't doing an orbital burn. We were still on a ballistic trajectory, see? Those things are going to crash land in the ocean and give some fish a really bad day. But everyone else is fine. Hey, honey. Okay. Whoop, hey, more debris up here, though. Look at that. Refueler debris. Right, gimbal. Yep, gimme. There we go. Right, we're going to go for the orbital burn. Should be fine. We can burn quite close to the apoapsis. Cool. Hey, another one. Duna refueler orbiter. Oh, look, there's another one. Oh, no, is that the bit that came with us? Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Orberin. Thank you very much, Orberin. Okay. So, let's deploy the fairing. Ah, not as pretty as the clamshell. Here we go. So, again, 2,200 meters per second is the target. We're moving it to almost 800 meters per second. So, let's burn heavy and get where we need to go, eh? The wheels spinning? Indeed they are. Hit the brakes. Alright. Drat, I'm having a lot of trouble these days pushing the app out in front of me. I didn't have that problem back with things like mainsails. We just passed the apoapsis. Maybe I need to burn way earlier than I normally do. Still, we're much higher up, so we should be fine. Yes, hello, sausage. You been good? Alright. Lulu appears to be broken. She's fine. She's just comfortable. – 1,800 meters per second. Almost there. We're falling though. Why not eject that shell halfway to the other planet? Mass? Yeah, it's just a dead weight. Okay, and a little bit more. Okay, job's a good one. Stable orbit achieved. Tell the probe to point prograde, and then deploy the solar panels, or just one of them. Do the front one, just in case the back one clips. Alright. So, job's a good one. Lovely. So we now have two craft that are orbiting Kerbin. Now, here's the fuck up that I made before, and perhaps there are some Kerbal Space Program experts in the chat that can say yes or no to this. So previously, I was making a bit of a mistake when I was heading up to Duna, because I thought in my brain, I was like, oh, okay, well, we need to fly that way, don't we? Outwards towards Duna. It turns out that was wrong. Instead, I need to fly forward so that I fly prograde, in the direction of Kerbin's travel, effectively out in front of it, to subsequently increase my altitude, my orbit, and meet Duna. So I started doing that, and I noticed something a bit weird, and that was I was consistently missing the Duna transfer. Even though I transferred on time, I would totally miss it, and it befuddled me. I was like, what? So I think, and this is the bit where I'm reaching, my question, I suppose, is because I was leaving sideways, was I always hitting the transfer accidentally? And what I need to do instead is go forward, which is correct, but I It went down the side of the sofa. She's being happy. Okay, so let's go then. So back to the not tracking station. Back to the space center. Give it a proper save, and then we're good. Thank you, Little Mustard Seed, Auberin, and V. Amani, and Hephaestus, and Viper. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, folks. Right, 1 second. Give it a save. So let's go with year 50. Year 57. Day 358. Duna. Ahoy. Lovely. Also, hi there, Birdie. Good evening, Birdie. I hope you're very well. Well done with the cabinet, by the way. Looks good. Birdie made a cabinet, and it's very nice indeed. She clarified that it's a cabinet for both storing wine and bodies, which is concerning. Soviet my chat are snitches? Well, they'll get stitches, won't they? Alright. So, here we go. So let's fast forward to the Kerbal Duna custom... what's it? So it's still 30 days ahead of the true transfer, but here we go. Speeding up the time. Da, 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 da. So yes, anyway, quickly for the people passing through, it's day 2 on Team Fortress 2 Bullshittery Part 1. I'll need a few more weeks, I'm afraid. It's only the second day. Okay. So we're just waiting for Duna to be in the right place. So as I keep mentioning when doing this, yeah, when it comes to space travel, if you had infinite fuel, you could indeed just point at an object and fly straight towards it. But the difficulty is that we don't have infinite fuel, and propellant is heavy. We've yet to come up with a solution to propel craft that doesn't use a form of propellant. So, yeah. It means if you want to go anywhere, then you've got to wait for everything to be in the right place to burn efficiently towards it. In this case, if we increase our speed from here up to here, Duna being there waiting for us would be helpful. So how long does it take to get to Mars? As in, a journey. Is it like 8 months or something? Something like that. So yeah, any humans that are going to be going from Earth to Mars. 5 months? Oh, okay. 6 to 8 months? Yeah, yeah. So it's absolutely crucial that we burn at the right time, and if you fuck it up, you know, you're basically stuffed. You're not going to have enough supplies, you're going to die. Have I tried to refuel at asteroids? Not yet. I should give it a go, shouldn't I? Okay. What are the news about the supposed miracle machine that seems to break the laws of physics and generate thrust without propellant? My memory might be faulty because I am old, but I seem to recall that that was in fact NASA asking for... so they were saying that their calculations were wrong. If this is the same incident that I'm thinking of, their calculations were wrong, and they were asking if anyone could spot the fault in them. Was that not the case? So they knew that this wouldn't be possible, and they were trying to figure out what the problem was. Yes, we currently have no known way of accelerating craft without propellant. Again, perhaps there is. That's just the reality of performing scientific experiments at the edge of what is known and unknown. Perhaps there is, just slightly beyond our understanding, some piece of technology that we don't yet know about that will solve this. But for the minute, we've just got to keep testing, keep experimenting. And, yeah. Here we go. Test to see if something is launched a good month ahead. Here we go. Here's one I made earlier. Where's the dog gone? You alright, honey bunny? Yeah, she's fine. She's sitting on the other side of me. She knows it's cuddle time. You know it's time that I stop the stream and give you a cuddle. Soon. Soon, soon, soon. Okay, so here we go. So this should be it. This should be the optimal... Well, soon, close to the optimal moment. So let's launch out of Kerbal and see if that's correct. Here we go. So select the Duna engine or Jeff. Which one first? Let's start with Jeff, shall we? So we need to basically send them out of the Kerbin orbit. Right. She's back. Right, here's Jeff. How's he doing? He looks good. Got sufficient electrical charge. Now then, so he's been orbiting Kerbin for some time. So we need to go that way. So let's place down a maneuvering node here. Add maneuver. And simply increase our speed. There we go. So increase our speed until we fling ourselves free of the fabric cone that we're sitting on. There we go. So note the dotted purple line changing, climbing slightly as I launch myself out and therefore go slightly higher. So we want to go there, roughly. Okay. I think. Very roughly. That should be correct. All right. Ooh, look. 32 kilometers, another piece of debris. Wait, going the opposite direction? That's weird. What is that? Maybe it's a probe. Not sure what that is. Oh yeah, it is. It's a satellite. It's not just a piece of debris. It's Eve probe. MK 1.0 on mount. MK 1.4. Huh. Eve probe. Did I put something in orbit and then forget to launch it? Possibly. Okay. Never mind. Right. Here we go. So Jeff is just turning around. And then we'll launch him free of Kerbin's gravity well and into the Kerbal star's gravity well. We've got 24 minutes until the burn. The engines are just wiggling, doing their thing in space. Alright. Why am I burning now? I don't even have my intercept. I'm not burning now. We're waiting 24 minutes. Here we go. Whee! Okay. There we go. Turn to face the maneuvering node properly. Could one theoretically use the moon's gravitational pull into a slingshot like a maneuver? Yes, indeed. Yes, you can, and yes, you do. By falling closer to the moon, or any other object for that matter, you can pick up a little bit of extra speed, a little bit of extra oomph. Right. There we go. We're ready for the maneuver. So, stand by for the 15-second mark, and go. Initiate burn. Right. Maybe tone down a little bit there, actually. Got a bit of wobble going on. Quite a lot of wobble going on. Should be fine. We don't need to be this precise at this stage. Just get roughly the right speed. Okay. So, the blue line, again speaking to the back for those not familiar, so note our orbit here. Burning on the periapsis, the lowest point of the orbit, will increase the altitude on the apoapsis, the highest point, as you can see as it's doing there. So that will just put us in an elliptical orbit around Kerbin, but if we keep going higher and higher, eventually we'll be flung free of this gravity well, as gravity gets weaker further away from the object. So some objects, so low mass objects like a small moon, doesn't take much to get yourself out of the gravity well. Very, very dense objects, high mass objects I should say rather, it's not the case. In fact, so some objects, notably gas giants, do something very strange with their gravity. If you were to sink into a gas giant, which conceivably you could, as the deep, there's no solid surface. It will start. It just becomes denser and denser until you're sort of like swimming through glue. If you could somehow stay alive during that process and sink deeper into a gas giant, you'd reach the point where a lot of the mass of the gas giant is behind you, not in front of you, which means gravity starts going a bit odd. Okay. So, there we go. That's our escape. Now, let's do the exact same thing for the other probe. So, let's just switch over to it. So, they're both doing the exact same maneuver. They're leaving the... they're both leaving the club at the exact same time, going for their coats, and leaving via the main door. I don't know where I'm going with this. Right. I've only been to a nightclub once. I'm incredibly square, and I hated it. I hated every second of that nightclub. Ugh. I was still young then. I didn't like go there when I was in my 30s. Like, hi. No, I was young. I went to a nightclub with my then girlfriend, and the music was too loud. It was way too loud. It was stupid loud. I know that you're there to like dance and fuck, and well, not there on the nightclub, but meet people to fuck and all that. But still, it was like. You were just screaming into each other's ears, and even then you couldn't hear. And the music was really obnoxious, and it smelled. So there was the smoking ban, long since been put into place. So all you could smell was BO. And then as I walked from the expensive fucking bar where I bought my drink back to my girlfriend, a hand was flung through the dancing crowd in the darkness and the flashing lights and the boom, boom, boom. And it grabbed me by the neck and it pulled me. And it pulled me so hard that I injured my neck. Someone injured my neck. It was a friend of mine at the time. He was a colleague, and he was alright. He was a nice bloke. He didn't mean it, but he yanked me by the neck, and it fucking hurt. Like for days afterwards, I was in agony. And that may have coloured my perception a little bit on my first experience of the nightclub, but I hated it. Hated it. Anyway, sorry. Do net engine drop. There we go. Ugh. I've been going to the wrong club. Maybe it was. Maybe there's a nightclub that I'd step in when I was in my, fucking early 20s, like, hey. But that one sucked. Right. So, same maneuver. Just do this really quickly. Follow him. Follow Jeff. Control locked. Uh-oh. No, we've got power. It's just in hibernation mode, isn't it? There we go. Yep, hibernation mode off. Take care, birdie. Sleep well. All the best. Okay, tone down that burn. That much delta V? Okay. Surely not. Seems excessive. Okay, never mind. Just follow on. Okay. So, turn to face. 10 minutes till the burn. There we go. Bit of a long burn. It's a nerve engine. Oh, Jesus. God. Damn it, I'm doing an escape trajectory with a nerve. Alright then. It's efficient, but my God, it's slow. Okay. Why don't I plan the intercept before burning? What do you mean? Intercept with what? Duna? We're not doing an intercept. We're just leaving the system. So fuck. What is this? It's a 2 minute... Fuck, it's almost a 2 minute... But might as well just start burning now then. Jesus. I might not even be able to burn at full power. It depends how much reaction wheel authority we're given here. Just start burning now. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. Right. Bit of a lengthy burn. So yeah. Do I recommend getting Armour 3 now on sale at a $5? Oh, definitely. Yeah. Armour 3 is very much worth a $5. If you're on the fence though, might I recommend Armour 2? So Armour 2, and try out the campaign called Harvest Red. It surprised me in its quality. So I played Operation Flashpoint back in the day, and that campaign was quite impressive. But it didn't impress me as much as Harvest Red, the campaign for Armour 2. Armour 3's campaign was bad. I didn't like it. But yes, if you enjoy that campaign, then you'll probably enjoy Armour 3 and all of the new stuff. Yeah, it's a very slow burn, the milsim. But it's worth it. If you're into that sort of thing. Okay. Chrome says, I've been on the Armour train since Operation Flashpoint. Incredible game sim sandbox. Indeed. I guess it's just nostalgia. I need to acknowledge that. But I get a bit misty-eyed when I think about Operation Flashpoint. It was really, really quite something. So Operation Flashpoint did this... I'm trying to describe it, trying to put it into words. So basically, imagine back in... So this was 2000... Fuck, when was this? When was Operation Flashpoint? Like 2000 or something? Year 2000? So all the way back then, this was a game that just didn't have levels. You didn't have levels in the game. You just had this massive open map. Just this huge open map full of forests and trees and roads and towns. And the mission, you do the mission, of course. You do the campaign, which involves you getting caught in this flashpoint, basically. Like a point where two superpowers are fighting each other, but neither superpower... Sorry, like the Russians claim that it's a rogue general. Maybe, who knows. And the NATO don't want it to go public because they don't want everyone to panic and then kickstart a nuclear war. So you've got this horrible shit sandwich where you've got these poor motherfuckers, these poor men who are stuck on this island tearing at each other. So properly dying. It's got this weightedness to it that really at the time really kicked you in the gut much more than something like the later Call of Duties would do, where they do like this surprise twist. Oh, a child dies or something. It didn't have that grounded sense of, okay, this could really happen. These you're with your rifleman squad and then all of a sudden shit hits the fan. You've got to leave this island or be taken prisoner. It had this very grounded nature to it. Like, this feels like this could be real. It wasn't like, we gotta stop the suitcase bomb before General Malkachev releases a nerve agent and blows up NATO, It was much more like you and your squad just trying to stay alive. And it had this really bittersweet element in the sense that when the campaign came to a close and all of these events happened, the final mission was 3, 4, 5 years later or something on the same island, and peace had returned. And the final mission of the game involved you simply driving across the island in a car to go to a pub to meet the other player characters that you played with. So, like, throughout the campaign, you drop between a tank commander, a pilot, an infantryman, a special forces dude, and they all do their own independent things, and, sometimes they meet each other. But the final mission of the game had you just drive across the island. That's all you were doing. Drive across the island and meet your war buddies. And it was so melancholic in the sense that all of these people have died. All of these... they're just fucking characters in a computer game. They're not real. But all of these people died, and now life just continues on as normal. All the civilians are just going about their business. Tractors going up and down the island. You drive past places where you're like, I killed like 5 guys here and was nearly shot. Like this like intense level in the game where you make first contact with the Russians. And it's like... nothing mattered. It didn't matter. It was buried. The truth was buried. And somehow that was just incredibly impactful. So sorry, I'm babbling about the first Operation Flashpoint. That sticks with you, that sort of thing. A commentary on how, ultimately the toys go back in the box, the war ends, and everything that a mere 5 years you were trying to say, desperately trying to creep through the forests of, like, Montignac or something. And then 5 years later it was, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, it was pretty powerful, I thought. Very impressive. I know, that's what I mean, Slender. I'm explaining it very romantically, I'm sure through rose-coloured glasses. But even at the time, I remember just thinking, Thank you, Drunken Science. Thank you very much, Drunken. Why don't I stream it? Could do at some point. Yeah, I could play through the campaign. Okay, here we go. So, we're leaving... Are we leaving? What's that? Yeah, that's just Jeff's trajectory. Oh, we are quite literally behind Jeff. There he is. All right. So, he's just ahead of us over there. So, let's do this then. So, let's zoom out. Let's switch over to Jeff. We'll see, Dodge. We'll see indeed. Okay. So, on our way out we go. Yeah, what is that? Are we definitely leaving? Because that looks like we're not leaving. But I definitely did just set the fact that we're leaving. Hang on. Thank you, Slender. Yeah, as you say, I'm an immersion guy. Thank you for saying so. I'm really into my games with their immersion. I can't stand it when... yeah, okay, they're both... Yeah, it's just the physics being weird. If a game doesn't wink at me and sort of tries to sell me on the fact that the world to these characters is real, then I can find myself getting bought in. I could tell you about the most immersive thing. I was going to save this for a video essay, but fuck it, I'm babbling. Why the fuck not? Hang on. So there was this one game. I don't know if anyone remembers this one. It's called MechWarrior 4 Vengeance. Does anyone remember that? Hang on. So MechWarrior 4 Vengeance. So I'm not a MechWarrior guy. I don't know the lore. There's a shit ton of lore to do with MechWarrior, and I apologise if I get anything wrong. But effectively, it involves sort of like this sort of like noble houses, I suppose, where the nobles are able to control these enormous fighting mech suits with incredibly powerful armaments. So the technology was created long ago to create these walking Metal Gear style things with armaments easily capable of dwarfing anything a regular tank. There are regular tanks and stuff, but yeah, there's no way you could fit that amount of firepower on anything other than a walker. The game takes place, and it very much drops you straight in it, and it involves these sort of cutscenes, these live cutscenes of real actors standing in front of green screens. It was very early green screen type stuff, and it involves a transmission that you receive from this royal family from this planet called Kentares. And it turns out that you, the player character, are in fact one of these nobles. You are Ian Dressari is your name, and you are this so you basically I'm not sure if it was like through political misdemeanor or whatever, but for whatever reason you're not on the planet. You're not with your royal family who own this world, Kentares. You're off fighting a war somewhere, and you receive a transmission that says our home is being invaded. Another noble house is invading. They're being sponsored by some big empire, and they're basically invading to decapitate the royal family and take the throne. I'm sorry, son, this will be the last you ever hear from us. By the time you get this message, your mother, your sister, we will all be dead. And you're dropped into this game where you are the last surviving member of this royal family coming back home to this planet that's been occupied. And what's special about MechWarrior 4 Vengeance is that this game never, ever winks at you as the player. It is so committed to showing that this is real and these people are real, and they're on your, they're doing what Lulu's camera is up here. They are on your screen talking to you about, your co-pilots, your people who were with you at the time, the resistance members. You're basically fighting a resistance to take back your world. And you're doing it in secret, mind you. You're don't say that there's a surviving member of the royal family, whatever you do. It's like a secret. They'll come down on us like a ton of bricks. Anyway, so you return to your world and you start doing these missions one by one, and it's incredibly immersive. You get these scattered like radio transmissions from the resistance talking about fight on, resistance members. We can, I know that things are shit right now, but we can do it. Like very grainy, very staticky transmissions. Anyway, so the gameplay continues, and you successfully attack objective after objective with your mechs. You fight... Sorry, just off topic. You do this clever thing. You fight mechs, other mechs, right? And in doing so, you see what they're like, and you sort of like, oh, that's a new... Like, it's a Uzeal. What's a Uzeal? Oh, the enemy, they've got them. It's a new type of mech. You fight them, and then there's a chance that after the mission, you can repair the wreck of the enemy mech that you destroyed, right? So it's this very intelligent, in-universe way of getting unlocks without them being unlocks, if that makes any sense. So the game isn't like, here, you've got enough points now, have your unlock. It's not like, here's a loot box, what are you gonna win? No, every single thing you unlock, you've already taken off Steiner, the name of the noble house who have taken over your world, and you're seeing it in the field. So it's this throwback to a time where game mechanics weren't just to sell a fucking slot machine. They were to heighten the sort of the believability of the setting. It never winks at you, not once. Anyway, so game progresses. You're thoroughly sucked into this immersive type story where you're taking over your world, and then over time, the knowledge that there is a survivor from the royal family starts to go public. And like you hear your name over the radio traffic, there is a survivor, one of the princes survived, Ian Dressari survived. And you've got this wonderful energy, this build-up, where the campaign continues, and like the story keeps sort of, the stakes keep rising. It goes from, just hit this radio center over here to, free these POWs, or Steiner's doing a retribution attack. They're going to level this town with cruise missiles fired from battleships. You gotta protect the population as they escape, and all the while your profile rises. The game does this thing also where you can set the camouflage for your mech, you see. And initially, this is just me, of course. Maybe other people might play games differently, but this is just me. I like to sort of lean into my games, lean into the immersion. So in the beginning, my mechs were all snow covered. We're going to a snowy biome. Get a white mech. We're going to a desert. So we want desert camo. But as the story progresses, because you've got access to all of this camo, I would start decorating my mech with more and more brazen symbols of House Dressari, eventually being covered in the full coloured livery, the full coloured the colours of House Dressari, to basically sort of with the build-up, this crescendo of fighting this resistance and freeing your world, and then making yourself ever more visible as this warrior prince who's come back. And it's a fucking computer game. They can't see you. The game won't react differently based on how the different color of your mech warrior. But I like to lean into that, and the game lets you lean into that, if that makes sense. Anyway, so getting to the final point. So as the game progresses and things get ever more intense, you get to the final situation where, in order to save your world, you've basically got to make a choice. And I'm not going to tell you what the choice is, but it's a rather sort of gut-punching choice. And the end result of that is to storm the palace, the royal palace. The other option involves a lot of blood, as in asking the citizens to sell their lives by the millions, which is not a road that you want to take. So instead you storm the palace. And by this point, across the entire game, the hype has been built. You've decorated your mech. You're covered in the full colours of your noble house, and you charge straight at the elite, the royal palace, where, by the way, your distant cousin, has been put on the throne, as a sort of puppet to lead you, and he's standing there in his mech, challenging you to a duel on the grounds of the palace. Anyway, it's at that point that the game decides to blast the main theme of House Dressari. It's this wonderful sort of thrumming, sort of beat, like the drums are banging, and it's incredible. I've never in my entire life experienced a sort of immersive high as much as me charging the walls of the royal palace with my mech lance behind me, all of these mech warriors charging behind me to this incredibly powerful score. And it's like at that moment, in those 30 minutes or so in that final mission, you as a player disappear. You don't exist anymore. There is only, you become Ian Dressari, freeing your world. And it's wonderful. I've never before or since experienced such like an immersive connection. Like you've seen me do it plenty when, you know, when I like stream a game or whatever, Alien Isolation, becoming the character, but never like this. And it's wonderful. The game's probably a bit dated now, and much of what it does has probably been done better by other games. But at the time, this was 2002 or something. I don't know when MechWarrior 4... 2004, I want to say, actually. But yeah, it was just this unbelievably impressive cinematic package that sees you finally having a one-on-one duel in the palace grounds with your cousin. And by that point, you believe he is your cousin. You're not fighting some few pixels on the screen anymore. You're having a one-on-one duel for the future of your entire planet. It's incredible. Anyway, sorry. That's me going off waffling about MechWarrior 4 Vengeance. Yeah, I can assure you that, yeah, I was very impressed when I played it. Extremely impressed by all of it put together in its entirety. Yeah. Sorry, I went off waffling. But yeah. Anyway, so, Kerbal. Couldn't tell, says Zero. Anyway, so, let's continue. That's it, really. Anyway, so MechWarrior 4, incredibly impressive. Now then, Duna. Let's set it as a target, and let's see if I was correct. Now, we have launched ourselves out of the Kerbin, there it is, Kerbin gravity well, slightly early on purpose. So, if I were to do this, add maneuvering node, 6 days. So we're ahead by 30 days. So let's go ahead 30 days. Wait, how can I tell how far it is? Down there. So that's 30 days. Okay. Let's now up the apoapsis and then walk it back. So here we go. So go up to roughly where Duna is and then walk it back. Huh. So maybe... How far away is that? 52 days. Tone it down a bit. How strange. So 62 days away. So watch this. This is what's confused me. Create alarm. Okay. Planetary transfer window from Kerbin to Duna. 59 days. 62 days. Huh. So maybe... No, I don't think I'm any closer to answering my question. No, wait, 48 days. Kerbin to Duna. 62 days. Till my maneuver, sorry. I'm not sure what I've done wrong. Okay. Indeed, Glalev, but what I'm trying to work out is the fact that normally when I just follow this, just do what it says, 48 days, by the time I get here now, I've missed it. And I was trying to work out why. So I launched intentionally early, expecting the fact that I've launched forward in a prograde motion has put me higher up than the calculation would account for, you see. Like I'm a few days ahead, and therefore I've gone and missed the transfer. But it seems to be on time. How odd. Okay. Well, no problem. At least, yeah, better to be early than late, I suppose. Right, so let's plan the maneuver then, and then warp straight to it. So Kerbin, 1 second. So how long? That's 61 days. So let's do ourselves a wee intercept. Thank you, Alimorph. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's sort of, you know, something that's in my head for a while. I don't typically just, you know... Well, no, I was about to say I don't typically just gush about a single game, but I did that about the Isle, didn't I? But it was much more specifically about what it was doing in the context of the rest of it. Maybe. We'll see. Right, so hang on. What is this doing? This craft is the Icelander. So yes, I want to try and go... what on earth? There we go. You wish I had the opportunity to play The Last of Us. Yeah, I never got into the console stuff, though. Maybe I should make an effort sometime. There we go. Okay. You have the same feeling about Hidden and Dangerous, yeah? Crimson, yeah, fucking... Yeah, I remember Hidden and Dangerous. I tried to play Hidden and Dangerous 2 relatively recently. The Hidden and Dangerous intro music, dun 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 dun, is like seared into my brain for the rest of my life. Dun 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 dun. Because it was so like, I'll start the game now. Dun 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 dun. It's like fucking hell. Anyway, sorry. Right, so there's our intercept. Yeah, we can do this easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So, create alarm. When is that? This is going to be... No. Sorry, I want to create the alarm on this maneuver, don't I? Sorry, you think I'm joking? No, fuck you. You think I'm joking. Hang on. Right, remember that. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, right, there. Wait for it. Right. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Hidden and Dangerous. Main menu music. You think I'm fucking with you? Look, hang on. Wait for it. Wait for it. This isn't it. Yeah. Sorry, I like that little bit there. That always made me laugh. Like, it goes quiet for a minute, and you think it's going to go into, like, a nice, like, quiet, somber bit. But no, it just goes... It doesn't stop. It just loops like that, continually. See? And that plays the moment you launch the game, and it stays on that through the briefing screen, through the arming screen, before the fucking the loading screen. It's seared into my brain for the rest of my life. I'm okay. Anyway, sorry, I muted the music. Whoop, hang on. There we go. Sorry, are people trying to sleep to this stream and I just woke them the fuck up? No, they're going to try and get to sleep now, and in their brain. Damn it! Alright. So, 61 days until this orbital burn. Add time. There we go. Oh god, it's already 10 minutes past 11. What the fuck? Okay, maneuver. Burn to Duna. Apply changes. I need to go to bed fairly soon. And then we'll have to switch to the other one and do its maneuver. Wait. Where is it? It's behind us over here. Yeah, just quite literally just next to us. So switch to the Duna engine drop. Fuck, where is it? Damn you. Fuck, go back to the tracking station. Have I almost hit Duna today? We're about to do the transfer up to it. Okay. I hear good things, Silverlanen. Okay. Yeah, should I make that hidden and dangerous music the host sound or something? Or like I've been raided. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Is it going to load or not? All right. So, similar what's it? Just go over to Duna as efficiently as possible. All right. So this is the engine delivery. Set Duna as the target. Ahead of us by 15 days. Increase apoapsis to meet the yellow line, which is Duna's orbit. Come down a smidge. There we go. And there we go. And then tone down. Whoops. Go up. There we go. And then meet it. So, yep, we also need to be a little bit precise. Switch over to the orbital node, maneuvering node. And yeah, we want to come down on which side? That side over there. So, I want to go over here, like so. And then fiddle with the inclination. Whoops. No. No. What on earth have I done? Maybe like that? There we go. Right. Cool. That's 764 delta V. Sorry, what's that? That's the oh, it's the Ike Ore sat. Okay. Turn that down a bit. Yep. What? Fuck us. Nope. Bollocks, I had it. Hang on. No, piss ass. Stop it. Do it again. There we go. Ooh, that looks so wonky. Alright, we'll fix that in a bit. It's fine. Okay, so... yeah. Just go from high orbit so we can fix an inclination change later. Alright. Don't touch. In fact, go back to other craft. Do that first. Jeff is ahead of us anyway. When is that maneuver? 1 second. Set the timer. Nope. The maneuver is over here, isn't it? So select the maneuver, the little clock icon, and then that is burn to Duna 2. Apply changes. Burn to Duna 1, switch to the craft, and then off we go. Armorin says, sorry, Rye Doggy says it's genuinely stuck in my head. Feel my pain! Feel my pain. I've had that in my head for 35 years. That's exaggeration. I've had it in my head for 25 years. That's also an exaggeration. Sorry, fuck. When was Hidden and whenever it was released, it's been in my head that long. Right, here we go. Weirdly, we still got the initial Kerbal stage. Okay, all right then. So I'm 18, regular Chungus. Still young. Right, speed up time. Here we go. Thank you, Alternaut, I think. Unless that's sarcasm. But welcome indeed. Ah, dear. Released in 1999. Ah. There we go. Right, so transfer Dres Sat to Dres. Oh, wait a second. I already have... Okay, transfer Dres Sat. I've got one other maneuver that I queued up before. So this, yeah, we're sending a craft up to Dres. Alright, we'll quickly do that. So this is a simple satellite, a comm satellite. I think this was a permanent comm satellite? Yes, so this is a super high-powered satellite that here's one I made earlier. Okay. So yeah, this is a super high-powered fucking satellite that's going to really support future Dres operations. Burn time. Oh god, we've missed it quite considerably. Of course, because it's a Xenon thing, isn't it? How much fuel? burn all the remaining rocket fuel with that skiff engine. Thank you, Mad Hatter. Thank you very much, Mad Hatter. Okay, and then we switch over to the Dawns, and I rather hope they work. They should do, because I've got another craft with Dawn engines. That is that high up. Okay, stand by, and decouple. Quick save before I fuck it up. There we go. Initiate Dawns. There we go. Check electrical consumption. No, xenon gas. We're fine. Okay, here we go. So, just sending this comm satellite up to the right place. Dun, 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 dun. Take care, Slender PL. Have a good one. Yeah, it is getting quite late indeed. For those slinking away, I hope you sleep well. Okay. Stop it, says TK. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. But yeah. There was another game, an ancient game that I played, well, years and years ago. It was called Estatica, I think it was? Estatica 2. I played Estatica 2. And it's a game, it's got a very weird art style. It was quite interesting for the time. It's basically, imagine if someone made a game made out of Play-Doh blobs. As in, all of the characters, like their arm is a blob, their hand is a blob, their fingers are all small blobs. Instead of like a proper polygon that is subsequently smooth, it's like it's very blobby. It's weird. It'll make sense if you look at any footage of it. You'll be like, oh, that's weird. Anyway, so I played Estatica 2 for years. And you start the game in this castle, you see. It's like you get captured, you're like a prisoner in this castle. And it's like properly, there's loads of places to explore. It's like a really big castle. But it's only like the first quarter of the game. And the reason I played the first quarter of the game for years and never got past any further is because I could not for the life of me figure out how to get the drawbridge for the castle down to actually explore the rest of the world. And I knew that there was the rest of the world because the game came with this rather lavish and beautiful map, like a printed map of the world that was not one-to-one, it was exaggerated, it was quite pretty, and you could basically hang it on your wall. So I would look at this map for a long time as a kid and I'd be like, oh, I wish I could go there, I wish I could go there. Couldn't figure out how. Do you know how? Well, one day I got tempted and I looked at a walkthrough. How do you escape the castle? To escape the castle, at the very beginning of the game, and I do mean at the very beginning, there are these big like bouncer type creature. Like imagine a big muscly bouncer, like a humanoid with huge muscles made out of big blobs, and they're very punchy. They're like big bouncer. And there's this big bouncer that's in front of a sewer grate in the game. And if you get too close to it, right, it'll punch you. It's like this big monster. It just spins around and punches you. And you can't. It's invincible. You can't defeat it with your weapons. I tried every weapon. You can't defeat it with weapons. It will just punch you. Right? At one point in the game, you enter a room. And you see that same creature, one of those creatures, right? Not the same one, but from the same race. You see it play an animation in the corner of the room. It's drinking from a bottle, and it sort of goes, oh dear, and then it basically drinks from the bottle again, and then it collapses. And somehow, you're supposed to, from this, infer that you're supposed to pick up a bottle from the room next door, and then have it in your hand when the bouncer punches you. And he'll take the bottle and he'll drink it and then he'll die and then the way is clear. At no point in the rest of the game, at no point does the bouncer ever take anything off you. At no point do you have to do this again. At no point does any mob ever take any item from you that would indicate that you're supposed to get hit while holding something. I don't know how anybody figured out. You know, it's so fucking obtuse. You're like, wait, what? You were supposed to have it in your hand when you get punched? Yeah, it's like logic that was, you know, known only to the developer. Anyway. So I then subsequently explored the rest of Estatica and completed the game in like one session. Yes, Mary Magdalene. And the game is completely different outside of the castle. I was like, oh wait. Right. Okay, so we're going to have to fiddle with this burn a bit because we started it way too late. So that blue line is our current course, and that yellow line is our actual course. So we've changed our wonkiness to match Drez's wonkiness, its inclination. No, we haven't. Really? There's a 5% inclination difference? No, there's not. It's fine. You grew up with the Super Frog poster from the Amiga games as Neo, yeah? Yeah, those big posters were fun, weren't they? Right. Anime Knight says, help, I've been attacked by a cat demanding pets. No. Well, you better provide them immediately. There we go. Yeah, I could time warp, but I'm just bantering. It's fine. We're almost done anyway. Regular Chungus, you're looking at a probe, an unmanned probe that is currently near, well, we're just behind Kerbin, which is basically Earth, and we're just trying to increase our speed with these tiny little xenon engines in order to go and send it up to a small dwarf planet called Drez, which is the in-game equivalent of Ceres, the asteroid in our asteroid belt, the biggest asteroid in our asteroid belt. Which isn't saying much, because even if you combine all of the asteroids in our asteroid belt, you would get a planet much smaller than our own moon. There is not that much mass out there. There we go. So I'm sending it there because I've already got a probe on Drez, on Ceres, but... hang on. But its communication equipment is very weak, so I'm sending a better one. So hang on, here's Drez. So did I successfully intercept? I did. That's my course. Lovely. So we just now wait for the intercepts. I'm just going to put down a manual... hang on. Go back to the craft. And then put down a... well, how long until we get there? So, 3 years... oh, Jesus. 3 years. 355 days. Oh, no, hang on. Wait a minute. What's going on there? What am I looking at? Drez specific relay. Yeah, that's this craft. Wait, the purple line is my... that's my course after the fact. It's overwriting the blue line. Oh, that's confusing. Okay, hold on. Better idea. Go straight to Drez and then put down a maneuvering node to slow down, and then we'll put the alarm clock on that maneuvering node. Thank you, De Worston Fook. Thank you very much, De Worston. So stand by. Put a node there. And then just say, fucking timer. Slow down probe. Passing Drez. Slow the fuck down, you fool. Also lose some weight. Apply changes. Reminder in 1 year, 113 days, 2 hours, 9 minutes, 13 seconds. Okay. So, let's go back to the burn to Duna in 35:49 days. Switch to. Right. Make that node much earlier. Remember, it has ions. Good shout. Should be okay, though. Thank you, Zoralis. Thank you. Jeff looks different. Jeff, have you been packing on the pounds? Sorry, why the fuck is there an asteroid? What the fuck? No. Fucking tracking station. Thank you, Zoralis. Thank you. Sorry, I missed one. Der Wurstenfug, Tiger Boy, Yuzi, and Mad Hatter. Thank you. Okay, that's kind of weird. I don't know what happened there. Right, unknown object. Yeah, what the fuck? What is that? What is this? Unknown object where? Where the fuck is this? I have no idea what that is. Terminate that. Stop tracking. Jeff. What's that about? Some random fucking rock. Okay. Indeed, Bullet. I didn't want to zoom in too much for this. Oh, fuck me. What is going on? Something's gone wrong with Jeff. Oh, hang on. What's gone wrong here? I haven't lost Jeff, have I? I think it might have bugged out on me. Why is the tracking station trying to take me back to some random rock? 1 second. Sorry, just trying to load it. 1 second. Loading. Okay. So that rock is what exactly? I don't know. So for some reason, rather than tracking Jeff, it's just setting up new rocks. Okay, I'm going to try and click on Jeff specifically. Hang on. So here's Jeff in the tracking station. Right, there you are. Okay. Come on. Could try and load it. No, not currently modded. Come on, why is it doing that? 1 second. Ah, hey! There we go. I don't know what's going on there. Right, here we go. So, turn to face the maneuvering node and zip ahead. Let's go. Alrighty then. It's already 11:30. Bloody hell. Here we go. 14 days. Sorry, why are we slowing down? Because it's the Kerbin. It's fine. Just get rid of that one. Carry on. Burn to Duna. Let's go. Yes, the alarm clock is in the base game now. Red Ned. Here we go. Very good. So this craft is going to be going over to Ike. So yes, we do need to hit Duna's gravity well, but ultimately we need to try and hit the small moon. Okay, very good. Burn to Duna. Turn it round. Right, we'll try and do this as quickly as I can because I would like to try and get to Ike if at all possible. Okay, careful now. Let's in fact tone you all the way down, shall we? We don't need this much power. 15. Tone you all the way down. 15.5 is fine. There we go. Should be fine. Besides, you're almost out of fuel anyway. Then we'll have to switch to the next one, which is should be much easier. Take care, Mongoose. Have a good one. Yeah, I should have gone off to bed a while ago, to be honest. But I really want to Fucking get to Ike. I know, marsh snake. Okay. So this engine's going to stay up here forever. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Go to bed. Yeah, maybe I should save this till tomorrow. Something to do tomorrow morning. It's getting quite late, isn't it? Oh, we've got some wobble there. Hold on. Let me just do the jettison. Let me finish this maneuver, then I'll bog off and go to bed, I think. Okay. There we go. Stand by. Thank you. Bye-bye, empty engine. And tanks. Okay. Cut there for a second. Let me just zoom over to the to Duna itself so I can fine-tune the maneuver to Duna. Ah, is that our course? Nope, that's not our course. That's just our predicted course. Continue the maneuver. Hey, there's our course. So, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Voila. Right. Lovely jubbly. So, I wonder if I were to make a few tweaks here. Prograde, retrograde, normal, anti-normal. Should I fiddle with those much? I should probably just leave it. It looks good, to be honest. So that's our target, Ike. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, I'll leave it there. So, yeah, thank you for watching, folks. Sorry for the somewhat rambling, off-topic nature of the stream. Yeah, so I've gone and sent 2 probes on their way to Duna, or 1 on the way to Duna. And tomorrow morning, we'll have them slow down. One of them is going to stop here. No, that's not true. One of them is going to stop here and drop off some engines for a space plane. And the other one is carrying a miner called Jeff, who's going to go to the moon of Ike, scan for good ore resources, and then land and then mine them for the space plane. So the space plane can come back and forth getting them. But yeah, thank you for watching, folks. Yeah, I need to give the dog a cuddle as well. All right. So, let me just have a look and see who's doing what. Thank you, Zaralis and De Worston Fook. Thank you, both of you, for subbing. All right. Let's have a look. Who's doing what? So, ZF Clan. Anyone doing anything interesting? So, SWAT Knight is doing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Well, sounds like a good pearl, to be honest. And Smeagol is doing Battlefield 2042. Alistair is doing First Class Trouble. Okay, I'll hand you over to... I think SWAT is the last person that I haven't hosted, so I'll leave you in his company. This is ZF SWAT Knight. He seems to be having a Pokemon battle with some sort of tortoise with a hedge growing out of its back, beating the shit out of a fish that's flapping on the floor. Poor fish. Right, I'll leave you in his company. Thank you for watching, folks. This is ZF SWAT Knight. Have a lovely, lovely evening.